Honorable Clerk, kindly confirm whether we have the quorum to transact business.
Honorable Speaker, there is quorum.
Order, honorable members, we can now have the order of business. Order number 1.
Administration of oath.
Next order.
Order number 2, communication from the chair.
Next order.
Order number 3, messages.
Next order.
Order number 4, petitions.
Next order.
Order number 5, papers.
Next order.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
Yes, Honorable Isaiah Minor.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I wish to give notice of motion on the accountability and transparency in the management of cooperative societies in Nandi County, which, among other things, once we have deliberated on it, I shall be seeking to persuade the House to agree with me and resolve that the CEC concerned with cooperatives and other matters, such matters, conducts an audit of all farmers' cooperative societies and submits a report to the County Assembly. Provide management tools for enhancing transparent elections in the savings and credit cooperative societies. And finally, partner with the cooperative societies, the SACCO Societies Regulatory Authority, SASRA, to offer effective oversight. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
We can have a next order.
Order number 7, statements.
Next order.
Order number 8, the Nandi County Equitable Development Bill, 2023, second reading.
Honorable members, I know this is a bill that was cut short. A motion was moved for adjournment of that particular debate. We can now have the debate resume. Yes.
Information, Honorable Speaker. Since we have a very important document ahead of us, I think we better have requesting that the motion mover, because we at the other time most of the members are deliberated so us because of time, and we have a very settled ahead, so that you can ask put us question, Honorable Speaker, so that we can move very fast. That is what is the honorable members? Okay.
Honorable members, what the Deputy Speaker has suggested, I believe it is his opinion. Unless, honorable members, if you now want me to call the mover to reply. Yes, Honorable Birech, you can now reply.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I think it will be very important that you dispense of completely this report of Nandi Equitable Development Bill. Thereafter, we go to the next agenda. And I think I want to request honorable members that we shall take the shortest time possible to make sure we dispense off completely this Nandi County Equitable Development Bill. And I object what the Honorable Deputy Speaker said, that we want to complete off this report.
Honorable Speaker, I think Honorable Birech, we are on the same page. That we are not dispensing, we are dispensing with the equitable revenue. But we are saying let us use the shortest time so that we can put the question as we move. But that is the,
Thank
we
you.
are not moving anything
Thank you,
else.
thank you. Most obliged.
So you can proceed to make your right of reply.
Yep, thank you. I would want to make clarity on some of the matter that this Honorable House is raised. And I would read as the way it is. And thank you for the patience that you have exercised. And I think the members of my committee, the finance, as we speak now, we are all reading on the same page. And I will just read the way it is and agreed by the whole members of the committee. Amendment to Finance and Economic Plan Report on Nandi County Equitable Development Bill 2023.
Honorable Bet, is it possible that you can reserve those particular amendments so that the same can be discussed during the committee of the whole House?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Obliged. Thank you.
So you done making a reply to the report?
I would want to say this, honorable members, that thank you so much for your willingness to support this bill, so that we shall devolve at least 50% of the resources directly to the wards. I think I'm quite assured that after the implementation of this bill, we shall see a good number of development arising from the ward, because if the members of the public or the residents of this county will participate fully in identifying the projects from the grassroots level, based on the need of priority, that is roads, that is water, and maybe on the dispensaries. These are most basic things that our people have been having challenges with. And supporting this bill is a big win to the members of this county of Nandi. And I want to say I really appreciate and we look forward on the implementation of this bill. Thank you very much.
Honorable members, at this particular opportune moment, I now wish to put the question that the Nandi County Equitable Development Bill 2023 be read the second time. Will as many as of similar opinion say aye?
Aye.
And will as many as of contrary opinion say nay? Ayes have it. Next order.
Order number 9, the Nandi County Equitable Development Bill 2023, Committee of the Whole House.
Other members, we are now in the committee of the whole house, and I wish to have the clerk to read the schedules as we continue. Honorable Clerk.
Clause 3 and 4.
Honorable members, I propose that clause 3. Honorable members, I put the question that clause 3 and clause 4 be part of the bill. I now put the question that clause 3 and clause 4 be part of the bill. Will as many of our similar opinions say aye?
Aye.
Will as many of our contrary opinions say nay? The ayes have it. Clerk.
Clause 5.
Honorable members, I propose that clause 5 be part of the bill. Motion mover. Honorable Birech.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Tildai, what are you proposing? What is it?
I have not proposed anything, Mr. Speaker.
Okay.
I was consulting.
So you console in low tone because I heard your voice. So, okay, Honorable Birech. Honorable, about clause 5.
Thank you. Amendment to Finance and Economic Planning Report on the Nandi County Equitable Development Bill 2023. The committee proposed the following amendment to the report as follows. By deleting item 1 on page 10 of the report and substituting with the following. By deleting clause 5, 3A and B and substituting the following, not less than 50% of the national share.
Honorable Birech, it is the bill, eh? It is not the report, that bill. You are proposing for the amendment of the bill. Honorable members, I hope you are aware that when we have the motion mover for the amendment, we'll propose for that amendment so that we can debate for the same you have any issue before we put a question on the set moved by the motion mover. So I think you will also follow the the clauses so that you amend as required or as amended, or if you don't have any information, we'll proceed to put the question after the motion mover. Yes, Honorable
Thank you.
Pirech.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The bill is amended at clause 5 as follows. By deleting clause A, 5(3) A and B and substituting the following. By deleting clause 5(3) A and B and substituting the following. Not less than 50% of the national shareable revenue and also revenue for development expenditure shall be set aside for ward development and shall be distributed as follows to the wards within the county. B, 90% of the ward development allocation in section 5A shall be appropriated equally across all the wards, and the remainder 10% shall be appropriated equitably across all the wards within the county. 3, at clause 5, by introducing the following new clause, 5(5) after clause 5(4). Criteria of distribution. For the avoidance of doubt, the following formula shall be used in coming up with the predetermined sharing of the funds, and appropriated modification and consideration used in particular consideration shall be given. 60% on population, 30% on poverty index, 10% on land mass. The bill is amended at clause 111D by deleting 5% and substituting therefore with 10%. 3, by deleting clause 12 in the entirety and substituting with the following. The composition of the ward projects identification committee, that is, the ward projects identification committee shall be composed of the following proposals appointed by the county executive member.
Honorable Pirech, I think you should end at clause 5 before we move the next day.
Thank you.
So you move only 5 and then we move the next day clause.
Thank you.
Honorable members, I propose that.
Honorable Chair, I think the Honorable Chair has moved an amendment and nobody has seconded.
No, okay, Honorable, yeah.
Okay. I request my Vice Chair, Honorable Bet, to second.
Okay, thank you, members. I now propose that clause 5 be amended as proposed. Yes, Honorable Majority.
Thank you, Chairman. I think I want to thank our APO Chairman for Finance for giving us the right calculations on the equitable share going to the Honorable Speaker. And without much ado, because the formula is self-explanatory, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Chair, I think you could put the question, because I'm seeing every word will get to the tune of 3 million. And then and on that formula for equalization, a certain word may get up to 40 million, depending on the formula. So I support the amendment by the chair, and I call upon Honorable Chair to put the question.
Okay, thank you, honorable members. I now put the question that clause 5 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many of a similar opinion say aye?
Aye.
Will as many of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Next, clerk.
Clause 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10.
Honorable members, I propose that clause 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 be part of the bill. I now put the question that clause 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 be part of the bill. Will as many of a similar opinion say aye?
Aye.
Will as many of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Next, clerk.
Clause 11.
Clause 11, motion mover. Honorable Pirech. I propose that clause 11 be part of the bill. The motion mover.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. By deleting clause 12 and its entirety and substituting with the following, composition of the ward projects identification committee. The projects identification committee shall be composed of the following.
Number part 11, eh? Part 11. Clause, that one, clause 11. So that to be included to be part of the bill. You have that one, that the bill?
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Chair. I propose that clause 11D by deleting 5% and substituting therefore with 10%. I request my Vice Chair again, Honorable Bett, to second.
Thank you, honorable members. I now propose that part 11 as amended be part of the bill. Honorable members, I now put a question that clause 11 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many of a similar opinion say aye?
Aye.
Will as many of a colleague opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Clerk, next.
Clause 12.
I propose that clause 12 be part of the bill. The motion mover to move the amendment.
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Chair. By deleting clause 12 in entirety and substituting with the following. And I'll proceed. And I'll proceed by saying, I propose that the bill, I propose that the bill of clause 12 and its entirety and substituting with all the entirety.
You have moved, your seconder, you have moved to Honorable Bett.
Honorable Bett to second.
Okay, honorable members, I propose that clause 12 as you are not pronounced.
I'm seconding, Honorable Chair.
Okay, thank you. I propose that the clause 12 be amended as proposed. Honorable members, any comment before I put the question? Subsequently, let I put the question that clause 12 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many of a similar opinion say aye?
Aye.
Will as many of a colleague opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Next, clerk.
Clause 13.
I propose that clause 13 be part of the bill. Motion mover to move the amendment. Honorable Birech.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. I propose that the bill of clause 13, 1, by deleting the following words, Community Development Committee, and speaking the following words, County Executive Committee member. I request my Vice Chair to second.
I propose that clause 13 be amended as proposed. Any comment, honorable members? Honorable members, I now put the question that clause 13 be amended, be part of the bill. Will as many of a similar opinion say aye?
Aye.
Will as many of a colleague opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Next, the clerk.
Clause 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, and 31.
Honorable members, I propose that the clauses 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, and 31 be part of the bill. I now put a question that the clauses 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, and 31 be part of the bill. Will as many of a similar opinion say aye?
Aye.
Will as many of a cordial opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Clerk, next.
Clause 2.
Honorable members,
Honorable Chair, clause 2 for wordings, forum, and word forums in the entire bill.
Honorable, I propose that the clause 2 be part of the bill. Honorable Pirech, the motion mover.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. I propose that the bill amended by deleting the words forum, word forums whenever it appears, and substituting therefore with the following words: word project identification committee. I request the member, Mheshimiwa Kiberenke, Nicholas Kemboi, to second.
Thank you, honorable members. I propose that the clause 2 be part of the bill. I now put the question that the clause 2 be part of the bill. Will as many of a similar opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Next, clerk.
Clause 1, which is the short title.
Honorable members, I propose that clause 1 be part of the bill. I now put the question that the clause 1 be part of the bill. Will as many of a similar opinion say aye?
Aye.
Will as many of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Next, clerk.
The long title, which is that an act of County Assembly of Nandi to provide a framework for the promotion of developmental growth in the wards within the county by providing for allocation of funds for ward-based projects, to provide mechanisms for selection of projects, to provide an oversight mechanism for utilization of funds allocated for ward-based development projects and for connected purposes.
Honorable members, I propose that the long title be part of the bill. I now put the question that the long title be part of the bill. Will as many of a similar opinion say aye?
Aye.
Will as many of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Clerk, next. Next, clerk.
The short title.
Honorable members, I propose that the short title be part of the bill. I now put the question that the short title be part of the bill. Will as many of a similar opinion say aye?
Aye.
Will as many of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Think, honorable members, we have come. Okay, honorable members, we have come to the end of the committee of the whole house, and I request the motion mover to move the reporting.
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson. I beg to move that the committee do report to the House in its consideration of the Nandi County Equitable Development Bill 2023, its approval thereof with amendments.
You request
I request Honorable Bet again with my vice chair to second.
Thank you, the chair and the house chair and the vice chair. Now, honorable members, I put a question, which is that the committee to report to the House its consideration of the Nandi County Equitable Development Fund Bill 2023 and its approval therefore with amendment. Will as many of a similar opinion say aye?
Aye.
Will as many of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Honorable members, we have concluded. I've seen Honorable Balala. We have concluded the committee of the whole house, and then I think we'll have to report. And we need to report now to the chair, who is the speaker. Otherwise, thank you, honorable members. And you know, when the chair is leaving the room, you need to stand. Honorable members, that is stand guided.
Yes, Honorable Sang.
Thank you. Honorable Speaker, I beg to report that the committee of the whole house has considered the Nandi County Equitable Development 2023 and approved the same with amendment.
Honorable Chairperson, Finance.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. And I also request Honorable Valentine, who is a member of the committee, to second.
Honorable members, I now propose the question, which is that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. I'll further put the question, which is that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. Will as many as of similar opinion say ayes?
Aye.
And will as many as of contrary opinion say nay? Ayes have it. Yes, Honorable Birech.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the Nandi County Equitable Development Bill 2023 be now read at that time. And I request Honorable Lisa, who is a member of the Finance, to second.
Possibly, Honorable Birech, before that, the next prayer on the order paper. Well, Honorable Birech, it appears that you jumped the gun before, and therefore you out of order for you to move that particular motion as done. So, Honorable Clerk, next order.
Order number 10, the Nandi County Equitable Development Bill 2023, third reading.
Yes, Honorable Birech.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for that guidance. Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that Nandi County Equitable Development Bill 2023 be now read at that time, and I request Honorable Lisa to second.
Honorable members, I now propose the question, which is that the Nandi County Equitable Development Bill 2023 be now read a third time. Honorable Deputy Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I've seen that most of us, or most of the Honorable members' colleagues, are contented with the information, but I maybe take this opportunity to congratulate the able CPA. So yesterday he had some difficulties in passing the motion, but today it has seen the light of the day. I want to say congratulations the team from Finance, led by the Honorable Birech. I think for the first time or for once, you've made this assembly the best. I want to say that members of the Finance, I thank you. And I've known now, if you have passed this bill, the honorable members now are in a position to access the money. Come this or the next financial year, the 33 million from every given one, and then we add that percentages. You know, percentages was a problem to us as by yesterday. But now we have had the clear percentage of the money allocated to every ward. So if you have 33 million, I think honorable members, it will enable us to do more of our, most of our works in most of our wards, because the priorities of our different wards are not the same. So the priorities of Kapsabet is not the same as priorities of Kabiyet or priorities of Nandi Hills. So you'll go and prioritize your funding, and I think most of us now we have been able. We have been lying to the executive, or we have been requesting assembly to, not assembly or executive, to assist us. But now you are an independent as the MCA and you become the patron of that. I think members, this is the direction. I only wish to congratulate and say members, we have the chair for the implementation, who is Honorable Shango. I don't know where he is, he was here. But I want him to follow now so that we can implement what we have passed from this bill. Otherwise, honorable members, I need to say you did a commendable job. And once again, I need to say thank you, Honorable Birech. I want you to move like this, and things will work smoothly. Thank you so much.
Honorable Mosbey.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for this opportunity. Indeed, the small team that the House selected to do the job for coming up with this law now that is going to become a law, I want to really commend them for the good job that they did, especially coming from CAF, where we first tabled a common motion which was around the country, and it is from there that the ball started rolling. So this is a dream come true, and as the able Deputy Speaker has put it, this is the beginning of the independence. It is the time for freedom, especially for the MCAs, because they'll be having their own kitty that is clearly anchored in the law, and they shall be able to do their things in their own ward, because as we all know, our wards have got different needs, they have different aspirations, and the beauty in it, again, is in the equitable bit, where those wards with special needs, those wards that are marginalized will have to be catered for. So indeed, this is a milestone. I know the work that is remaining now is to ensure that this piece of legislation that we've come up with is also anchored in our constitution, and that is what us in the team of CAF have been fighting for, so that such a law is recognized by the Constitution, and everything that is going to be done will be within the law, and no one is going to challenge it. So I really want to say thank you so much for the able team led by the finance chair, for the clarity in all the aspects of this law. The confusion that was there was indeed informed all of us. All of us went back and looked at the law, and we came today as one team. Thank you. God bless this assembly for the great job done. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Matata Benjamin.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I stand to support this bill, Mr. Speaker, sir. And actually, I want to say that having been a member of the committee that came up with this bill, I want to tell this Honorable House that this is an hybrid system, Mr. Speaker, sir. Because we went for benchmarking in Wasingishu, we went to Elgeyo Marakwet, and after visiting the two counties, Mr. Speaker, sir, we had to do some adjustments as per what we had found out in the two counties. Mr. Speaker, sir, I'm happy because this is an idea whose time has come. Going by history is that the first assembly tried, but it flopped. The second assembly also came up, but it had no goodwill from the executive. This time, Mr. Speaker, sir, with the goodwill from all the stakeholders, this thing is a game changer to the whole of Nandi County. Our priorities in various wards as it has been put are different, and now the project identification committees will be mandated to seek the priorities of each ward and to make sure that they appropriate the funds as per the priorities. So, Mr. Speaker, sir, to this Honorable House, I want to say I laud this because in the near future, the residents of Nandi County will feel the full effect of devolution. This is one way of devolving resources to the ground. And actually, it is good, Mr. Speaker. So I want to say that I want to thank the team that we came up with the bill. I want to thank my able chair, CPA Birech, after some arithmetic that were not understood on Tuesday at the floor of the House. We've come up and we had to clear that arithmetic issues. You know, mathematically, sometimes maths is not, it can be simple, but hard in the hardest way. So, thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I support the bill. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Majority Leader.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, since we are all in agreement of this bill and the way the Honorable CPA and the team have done a marvelous work, Honorable Speaker, why don't we allow him to give right of reply so that we could move forward, Honorable Speaker? Because we are all in agreement of this bill. Thank you.
Well, Honorable Birech.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. First and foremost, I want to thank each and every member of this Honorable House, beginning with my team for finance and economic planning, for the wonderful time and the engagement that they had to put in place so that we have such quality report. And I only learned, Honorable Speaker, that there are various ways of reaching to a formula. I didn't know that if you do statistics and if you do accounting, the route of reaching to an answer is not the same. it is different. Personally, I was applying the accounting techniques and the experience I have in the field, while my colleagues were applying a different. But however, after series of engagement and agreement, we have now come with one of the best formula, that's a layman formula, that each and every one of us will understand. And I want to appreciate. I'm quite convinced, Honorable Speaker, that in the next financial year, and I want to inform this House that the budget cycle for the coming financial year will begin from August. And the treatment of this one fund must begin this August going forward. Any other story that we shall be told in future will be null and void. We will not accept. Because we must walk the talk. Already, especially the governor, have demonstrated the perfect goodwill of this Water Fund. And I can reassure this Honorable House, with the goodwill of the Excellency the Governor and our input, majority of us will be re-elected come the next election. Only if we walk the talk. I look forward for the other team of our colleagues in budget and appropriation to make sure you do what is required. I hope we shall follow the law to the letter. If we say 50% and 10% equalization, let it be the way it is in the bill. It should not be anything less than that. So, honorable members, I really want to appreciate. Thank you for the advices. Thank you for the corrections, because no human is perfect. We must go through the corrections. And learning is a process. Yeah? Learning is a process. I would really want to appreciate honorable members. I would really want to appreciate. Thank you for the input. Thank you for the corrections. And going forward, I would also want, when you are corrected, accept that you have been corrected. So, with that few remarks, I would want to appreciate and say we look forward as finance team for the full implementation of this bill. Thank you.
Honorable members, because I know that a decision is about to be made, I also confirm that the quorum for the purposes of making that decision is present, and I'll proceed to put the question, which is that the Nandi County Equitable Development Bill 2023 be now read a third time. Will as many as of similar opinion say ayes?
Aye.
And will as many as of contrary opinion say nay? Ayes have it. Next order.
Order number 11, motion.
Honorable Korir.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I beg to move the motion that this House adopts the County Budget and Appropriations Committee report on the Nandi budget estimates for the financial year 2023-2024 laid on the table of this House on the 27th June 2023. Mr. Speaker, sir, as you are aware, the Constitution of Kenya and Public Finance Management Act 2012 has placed significant responsibilities on the County Assembly over the management of public resources, particularly with regard to resource mobilization, allocation, monitoring, and control. Article 224 of the Constitution of Kenya 2010 provides that every county government shall prepare and adopt its own annual budget and appropriation bill in the form and according to the procedure prescribed in an Act of Parliament. The County Executive of Nandi prepared the county budget estimates for the financial year 2023-24 and then subjected it through public participation processes and regulatory structures, including review by the CBEF. On the 28th of April 2023, the CCM member responsible for finance submitted to this assembly the proposed budget estimates. Mr. Speaker, sir, Section 131, subsection 2 of PFM Act 2012 inter alia provides that before the County Assembly considers the estimates of revenue and expenditure, the relevant committee of the County Assembly shall discuss, review the estimates, and make recommendations to the County Assembly. Mr. Speaker, sir, Standing Order 210, subsection 5 provides that the Budget and Appropriations Committee shall discuss and review the estimates and make recommendations to this County Assembly, taking into account the recommendations of the sectoral committees, the views of the County Executive Committee member for Finance and Economic Planning, and the public. To achieve this, therefore, the County Assembly undertook the above exercise guided by the standing orders, which directly borrows procedures from the PFM Act 2012. The County Assembly engaged the sectoral committees as provided by the Standing Orders 210, subsection 3, which states that upon being laid before the County Assembly, the estimate shall be deemed to have been committed to each sectoral committee without question put for each such committee to deliberate upon according to their mandate. In addition, the Budget and Appropriations Committee conducted public participations exercise upon committal in adherence to Article 196, subsection 1b and 201 of the Constitution and the Section 87, subsection 1a(b), that of the County Government Act 2012. This exercise was undertaken by the County Assembly in all the 6 sub-counties, that is namely Mosop, Chesumei, Emgwen, Nandi Hills, Tinderet, and Aldai sub-counties. That was taken through on the 5th to 7th of June 2023. During this exercise, the committee collected public views, which forms part of the basis for recommendations of this report. Establishment, composition, and mandate of the committee. Mr. Speaker, sir, the Budget and Appropriations Committee is established under the provisions of Standing Orders 189 as currently constituted. The committee comprises the members listed in Chapter 4, that is on the page where there is affirmation and acknowledgement of the said report. Mr. Speaker, sir, the Standing Order 189.3 outlines the mandate of the Committee on Budget and Appropriations as follows. A, to investigate, inquire into the report on all matters related to coordination, control, and monitoring of the county budget. B, discuss and review estimates and make recommendations to the County Assembly. C, examine the county fiscal strategy paper presented to the County Assembly. D, examine bills related to the county budget, including appropriations bill. And lastly, to evaluate tax estimates, economic and budgetary policies and programs with direct budget outlays. Mr. Speaker, sir, the Nandi County budget estimates for the financial year 2023-24 was submitted to the County Assembly on the 28th April 2023 in accordance with the provisions of Section 129, subsection 2 of the Public Finance Management Act 2012, and the provisions of Standing Order 2010, subsection 1, which provides that the member of the County Executive Committee responsible for finance of the County Assembly Service Board shall not later than 30th April respectively submit the County Assembly budget estimates and related documents specified in law for the county government and that of the county assemblies. Mr. Speaker, sir, the submitted county budget estimates for the financial year 2023-2024 was laid on the table of this assembly on the 10th May 2023, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 2010 and committed to the Budget and Appropriations Committee. Mr. Speaker, sir, in the 2023-2024 budget, it is expected that policies and programs that will be implemented therein are contained in the medium-term plan. The committee tried to establish the extent to which the CFSP and the 2030 Vision 2030, and the medium-term plan that of Kenya Kwanza's bottom-up model, and other policy documents of the government formed the basis of the preparation of the annual budget estimates 2023-2024. Mr. Speaker, sir, though the county treasury is required by law to take into account the resolutions of this House on the CFSP as it finalizes the budget, the committee was established that some of the sectors departments did not adhere to the expenditure ceilings set by the county assemblies in the CFSP. Mr. Speaker, sir, the total resource envelope for budget estimates for financial year 2023-2024 is 9,079,379,546, comprising of 7 Kenya shillings 7,305,294,585 as equitable share, Kenya shillings 515,557,531 as on-source revenue, and Kenya shillings 458,047,663 as conditional grants from national government, the NIDA Nutrition International, that is NI. Second, Kenya Informal Sectors Improvement Project, KISIP2, financing locally led climate actions, FLOCA, library services, and Kenya shillings 800,479,767 as unspent balances from the financial year 2022-2023, the financial year that is just heading to the end. Conditional allocation shall be budgeted by the line departments as shall be allocated through the County Allocation of Revenue Act 2023. Mr. Speaker, sir, the expenditure allocation is broadly classified into development and recurrent. The cumulative development expenditure is estimated as Kenya shillings 2,976,750,014, which is 32.79% for the financial year 2023-2024 total budget. Recurrent expenditure is further classified into compensation to employees, operations, and maintenance expenditure. The cumulative recurrent expenditure for financial year 23-24 is estimated at 6.1 billion, which is actually 67%. And financial year 2024 for the financial year 2023-2024 budget. This comprises of Kenya shillings 3.8 billion, and which is 43%, and 2.2 billion, which is 24% for compensation to employees, and that on operations and maintenance expenditure respectively. Mr. Speaker, sir, the main expenditure highlights for budget estimates for financial year 23-24 are as follows. County executive, that is A, is 8 Kenya shillings 8,182,380,085. B, county assembly expenditure, which is Kenya shillings 896,999,461. Affirmation and acknowledgement. Mr. Speaker, sir, on behalf of the Committee on Budget and Appropriations, I wish to extend sincere gratitude to the Office of the Speaker and that of the Clerk for the guidance and necessary logistical support in this fundamental exercise. I also wish to appreciate members of committee as well as all members of this House for the dedication and commitment in ensuring that the process was a success. Finally, Mr. Speaker, the committee is indebted to the County Assembly staff who offered invaluable technical support and service in successfully compiling this report. Mr. Speaker, sir, it is therefore my pleasant duty and singular honor on behalf of the Budget and Appropriation Committee Mr. Speaker, sir, we have got all the indicated, we have the members having affirmed that, and the signatures indicated. They have affirmed that. Allow me, Mr. Speaker, sir, since we tabled this report, that was on Tuesday, we've actually ensured that the same has been sent to our gadgets, and I'm aware that all the members are actually having the report. Allow me skip the legal framework and move straight to, just before I go to the recommendations of the committee, I wish to also indicate that, Mr. Speaker, on public participation, in the matter of consideration of Nandi County program-based budget estimates for financial year 2023-2024, and pursuant to Article 196, subsection 1, and 201 of the Constitution, Section 87, subsection 1A, B, and 108 of the County Government 2012, and Section 126 of the PFM Act 2012, the County Assembly of Nandi invited the members of the public and stakeholders to submit their views in respect to the county-based program budget estimates for financial year 2023-2024. And Mr. Speaker, sir, if you allow me, we have a schedule in the table that clearly shows the timings. We have the sub-county that we went through. We have the venue, and we have got the respective times. So as to the public views, that is actually provided for. And may you now allow me, Mr. Speaker, sir, since we have this document present with us, allow me move to the committee recommendations report. Thank you. Mr. Speaker, sir, having deliberated on the budget estimates for the financial year 2023-2024, the Committee on Budget and Appropriations recommends as follows. The first item is on policy recommendations. That the CCM for Finance and Economic Planning in preparation of the budget estimate should comply with all sections of PFM County Government Regulation 2015, and in particular A, the CCM Finance and Economic Planning should present budget estimates in a format that complies with Section 30, subsection 3 of the PFM Regulation 2015, which provides that the preparation and submission of estimates shall be done exclusively through prescribed automated integrated financial management systems, that is IFMIS. B, Section 25, subsection A and B, which requires that county government expenditure on wages and benefits for public officers shall not exceed 35% of the total revenue. 2, that the committee executive should, within the next 2 months, ensure that 1, a clear human resource database is established realigning departmental programs with the required human resources. 2, each department to incur its own wage bill. 3, the report on staff/payroll audit carried out by the County Public Service Board be submitted to the County Assembly after the approval of this report. 3, the county departments should state realistic local revenue targets and put in place measures to ensure maximum revenue collection is realized. 4, county departments should ensure timely procurement processes and implementation of the projects. 5, that all departments must strive to remain within the ceilings as provided in the House resolutions of the county fiscal strategy paper, except where changes are absolutely necessary, and that some are in line with the resolutions 27 paragraph 6 of the PFM regulations 2015. This will ensure that the county fiscal strategy paper remains the policy anchor of the budget. On part 2, public procurement and disposal processes recommendations. So we went through and gave the following recommendations. 1, that the county department should ensure timely procurement processes and implementation of the projects. 2, that the CCM member of Finance and Economic Planning should ensure that all resourcing processes by the county government of Nandi for contractors and suppliers to be undertaken in supply works, services, or goods is undertaken on or before 31st August 2023. B, all contracts and agreements are entered into by the county government with contractors and suppliers is undertaken on or before September 30th, 2023. C, the first issue of LSOs or LPOs for contracts and agreements for those under contracts where sourcing processes are requests for quotation or proposals be entered into by the county government with contractors and suppliers be done on or before the October 30th, 2023. And lastly, the county undertakes to optimally consider the disposal or hiring out of non-performing movable assets to interest bidders in effort to cushion the county government of Nandi from unnecessary maintenance expenditure. As per the PFM, county government regulations, all LSOs and LBOs issued must be serviced within 30 days of issue or be cancelled and new processes begin in earnest. but within 1 month of cancellation, to avoid any further delay, the county government department responsible shall notify area MCA on any cancellations, stroke payment, and payments lastly should be done within the 90 days of issue of invoice by the contractor and upon certification of public works where it applies. The third item was on budgetary recommendations. One, that the county shall, as per the presidential directive communicated by the Controller of Budget, prioritize settlement of pending bills amounting to Kenya shillings 173,927,690 in the financial year 2023-2024 at bare minimum as indicated in the payment schedule below. So that also can be accessed, Honorable Speaker, within the gadgets and the information that we have provided to the members. For under fourth, so we have, within the same page, under fourth D4418, that is vocational education and vocational training. So we are now moving on with the same budgetary recommendations. These are actually emanating from the findings of the committee. So under fourth development, that is D4418, economic education and vocational training, Kenya shillings 2,333,333 proposed for construction of. Sorry, I would really request that we move on. I don't want to go on the specifics. So allow me, Mr. Speaker, take on through the eighth recommendation by the committee that is under budgetary allocation. So that this committee recommends that under R4412, which is Nandi, Finance and Economic Planning, that the CCM allocates Kenya shillings 97,328,000, which is 2 million, Kenya shillings 2,212,000 for motor vehicle reimbursement for members of County Assembly as a new benefit conferred by the SRC White Cassette Notice 8795. 9, that R4412, Nandi, Finance and Economic Planning, economic item 4110403, housing loans to the public servants, shall be amended to reflect an expenditure estimate of Kenya shillings 150 million, up from an initial allocation of Kenya shillings 40 million. That under R4412, under economic Finance and Economic Planning, other operating expenses be reduced by Kenya shillings 7 million to reflect an expenditure estimate of Kenya shillings 21 million. 11, reduce the overall personnel emoluments by Kenya shillings 120,328,000 to finance the car grants for the members of County Assembly and housing loans for public servants for executive. 12, that under R4413, that is administration, public service, and ICT, maintenance of a motor vehicle be reduced by Kenya shillings 5 million to respect an expenditure estimate of Kenya shillings 9 million. Number 13, that under R4414, Nandi, that is under health and sanitation, economic item bending bills, to be reduced by Kenya shillings 40 million to reflect an expenditure estimate of Kenya shillings 95. Just to mention, Mr. Speaker, sir, is that this reduction is due to the just concluded payments that has been ongoing. That is taking us to Kenya shillings 95 million. The other recommendation that this committee recommended that under Kapsabet municipality, allocate additional Kenya shillings 5 million to the earlier estimate of Kenya shillings 25 million for acquisition of self-loading truck to reflect an expenditure estimate of Kenya shillings 30 million. Remember, in the main budget, there was a proposal of 25 million, so there is that additional based on variations of pricing. Number 15 is that vote under 4th D44, the committee recommends that additional allocation of Kenya shillings 4 million to the earlier estimate of Kenya shillings 8 million for acquisition of M&E vehicle to reflect an expenditure of Kenya shillings 12 million. The committee do recommend that under vote D4420, Transport and Infrastructure allocates additional Kenya shillings 111,110,901 to the earlier estimate of Kenya shillings 30 million for maintenance of access roads to reflect an expenditure estimate of Kenya shillings 141,110,901. The committee recommends that under vote D44, that is health and sanitation, do reduce the amount allocated as pending bills and works in progress by Kenya shillings 96,768,343 owing to the ongoing payment of pending bills. Next is that the committee recommends that under vote D4414, which is still health and sanitation, allocate additional Kenya shillings 20 million to earlier estimate of Kenya shillings 11,538,220 to the proposed construction works to Chepterwai Hospital Complex, that is to reflect an estimate of Kenya shillings 31,538,220. The committee do recommends that under D4414, that is health and sanitation, reduce allocation to the proposed new hospital complex with mother and baby units at KCRH Phase 3 by Kenya shillings 8 million to reflect an estimate of Kenya shillings 89 million. Next is that the committee recommends that under D4415, that is agriculture cooperative development, reduce amount allocated as pending bills and works in progress by Kenya shillings 14,287,000, owing the ongoing payment of pending bills. That under 4415, agriculture and cooperative development, allocate additional Kenya shillings 9.5 million to renovations, construction of cattle dips, additional Kenya shillings 3.6 million for ongoing construction of milk cooling structures, reduce refurbing of Kaimosi by Kenya shillings 5.5 million, being payment already done, and reduce completion of Kabiet creameries by Kenya shillings 10 million, reallocate fully allocation of Kenya shillings 2 million of construction of perimeter wall at Agriculture Headquarters Department, and reduce allocations to construction of toilet by Kenya shillings 500,000. The other recommendation by the committee under budget findings is that under D44, agriculture and cooperative development, do allocate 4.5 million for restocking of Kaimosi with quality livestock. I mean, they are proposing for additional livestock. Thank you. Next is that under D4417, sports, youth affairs, and arts, reduce the amount allocated as pending bills and works by Kenya shillings 48.9 million, owing the ongoing payment of pending bills. The committee still recommends that under D44, which is sports, youth affairs, and arts, reduce allocation of equipping Kipchoge Sports Complex by Kenya shillings 8 million, allocation of NCYS wages by 16 million, and allocation of pending bills to culture by Kenya shillings 3.7 million. The other recommendation is that under D4418, that is education and vocational training, reduce the amount allocated as pending bills, works in progress, by Kenya shillings 18,154,337, owing to the ongoing payment of pending bills. That under D4419, which is lands, environment, and natural resources, reduce the amount allocated as pending bills and works in progress by Kenya shillings 113,451,297, owing to the ongoing payment of the pending bills. And the committee do recommend that under the vote D4420, which is transport and infrastructure, reduces the amount allocated as pending bills and works in the progress by Kenya shillings 87,251,445. The other recommendation is that under vote R4420, that is transport and infrastructure, reduces the amount allocated for maintenance of motor vehicle by Kenya shillings 5 million. that under D4421, that is trade, tourism, industrialization, do reduce the amount allocated as pending bills and works in progress by Kenya shillings 43,421,392 and reallocate Kenya shillings 14 million allocation on completion of Nandi Textile and the apparel unit. Considering the important role of data in effective planning and resource allocations, there be allocation of Kenya shillings 6.5 million under D4412, Finance and Economic Planning for preparation of the county statistical abstract. And under 4423, that is the county assembly, the recurrent expenditure estimates for the county assembly shall be Kenya shillings 796,999,461 in the financial year 2023-2024, based on the CRA recommendation pursuant to the Constitution of Kenya, and development expenditure estimate shall be Kenya shillings 100 million. That is a development expenditure. The committee do recommend that the total resource envelope of Nandi County program-based budget for the financial year 2023-2024 is recommended at, that is based now on the conditional allocations that they were not captured. So it's recommended that Kenya shillings 9,363,316,922, of which breakdown now is that Kenya shillings 7,305,294,585 will be the national equitable share, and Kenya shillings 515,557,531 will be raised from local revenue, and Kenya shillings 652 million. And Mr. Speaker, Honorable House, kindly note, because there is a variation, these are a recommendation after our findings. Kenya shillings 652,824,359 as conditional grants from development partners, and Kenya shillings 286 million and 326 shillings as conditional grants from national government. Kenya shillings 55,110,901 as unconditional grants from the national government, and cash carried forward as of when we tabled the report as Kenya shillings 548,529,220. The committee recommends that the summary of recommended expenditure for the financial year 2023-2024 by program will therefore appear as contained in the table below. I wish to say and note that that is also available in the gadgets. Mr. Speaker, sir, allow me finally then, having gone through the recommendations, give the conclusion. Mr. Speaker, sir, the committee therefore requests this House to resolve as follows: that the House adopts a total expenditure of Kenya shillings 9.3 billion, of which 7.3 billion will be the national equitable share, 515 million will be raised from local revenue, and Kenya shillings 652,824,357 as conditional grants from development partners, and Kenya shillings 286,326 as conditional grants from national government, and Kenya shillings 55,110,901 as unconditional grants from the national government, and cash carried forward amounting to Kenya shillings 548,529,220. B, the proposed amendments to the approved budget estimates for the financial year 2023-2024 as contained in this report be adopted. And lastly, Mr. Speaker, sir, that the recommended summary above becomes the basis for the County Appropriations Bill 2023. And Mr. Speaker, sir, in rallying and calling upon the House, I wish to I wish to rally upon the House that we support so that we can be able to move. And being happy that this is actually our first budget in that assembly, I wish to now recommend to the House that we support so that we can be able to move on and be able to serve our residents. And therefore, Mr. Speaker, sir, allow me call upon my Vice Chair to second. I thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I stand to second the report, Mr. Speaker, of Budget and Appropriation Committee. Mr. Speaker, First of all, I want to thank this leadership, Mr. Speaker, of this House, Mr. Speaker, led by you, and the Office of the Clerk for the cooperation they gave the committee as we do our recommendations. Mr. Speaker, as my ever chair has said, we have burned the midnight oil, Mr. Speaker, to ensure that this budget, Mr. Speaker, gathers for the interests of our honorable members, Mr. Speaker, in this House. Mr. Speaker, there is some issues we've been deliberating as County Assembly, and we've been asking the executive to do it. Mr. Speaker, if you see the payment of pending bills, at the moment, Mr. Speaker, we've not had any complaint from contractors, Mr. Speaker, that the payments is partial or what. But, Mr. Speaker, as you see, as been read by my ever chair, is that these pending bills has been reduced, Mr. Speaker, drastically. If you see, Mr. Speaker, from that Department of Lands, Environment and Natural Resources, Mr. Speaker, they have reduced by around 113 million. On roads, Mr. Speaker, they have reduced the pending bills by around 87 million. Education, they have reduced by around 18 million. In health, Mr. Speaker, they have reduced in some millions. Mr. Speaker, I want to urge the honorable members to support this noble cause. And if you see, Mr. Speaker, after a long discussions, remember, Mr. Speaker, we had committees, sectoral committee chairs being adding their committees, Mr. Speaker, to negotiate with their departments and making recommendations. And those ones have been captured, Mr. Speaker, by the Committee of Budget and Appropriation. For example, Mr. Speaker, the Committee on Infrastructure, they have, Mr. Speaker, they did, and they recommended that they need additional funding because our roads are in pathetic position as we speak, Mr. Speaker. But, Mr. Speaker, the committee made take up that plea from members, Mr. Speaker, and we negotiated, Mr. Speaker, with the executive, and that is why, as we speak today, the 30 million, which were allocated for access roads, it has been added by 111 million. Mr. Speaker, that was a good that was a good effort done by the Committee of Finance Budget and Appropriation Committee. Mr. Speaker, if we see today, Mr. Speaker, I think this budget, Mr. Speaker, and I want to thank the CEC and the Department of Finance, Mr. Speaker. They are doing good work, Mr. Speaker, as we speak. Mr. Speaker, if they are reducing the pending bills, so the act we have just concluded in this county assembly, Mr. Speaker, the Water Development Fund, come next year, Mr. Speaker, will not be having pending bills which will affect the implementation of Water Development Fund. So, Mr. Speaker, I think as honorable members have heard, this budget, Mr. Speaker, is good. We can support. We have projects from what, Mr. Speaker, from the ECD, water projects, Mr. Speaker, will be implemented, and especially roads, Mr. Speaker, which are in a pathetic situation as we speak. Mr. Speaker, as I conclude, Mr. Speaker, I urge honorable members that you support this budget. I know we've been inclusive as budget committee. We've been negotiating with the executive, and the honorable members knows, Mr. Speaker, that we've been having all these negotiations so that as we come, this budget, Mr. Speaker, doesn't belong to only budget and appropriation. It is all of us. That is why, Mr. Speaker, each and every one of us knows what is going on in this budget, because in the budget making process, from Mr. Speaker, we were going for public participations. We had recommendations from our electorates, and it has been captured, Mr. Speaker. It has been captured, especially roads, which were, we had a lot of cries from Wananchi, Mr. Speaker, that our roads are in a pathetic position, but now that will be addressed in this budget, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, as I conclude, I want to thank every one of us, Mr. Speaker, who participated, who got time to do these amendments. They have given us their positive criticism, Mr. Speaker, and now we have come up with this budget. I urge honorable members that we support this budget, Mr. Speaker, so that we progress as Nandi County. And not forgetting, Mr. Speaker, we will do oversight. After this budget, Mr. Speaker, has been passed, we have to do budget oversight, Mr. Speaker, and especially Honorable Isaiah Maina, who is the chair of implementation. We need this budget, Mr. Speaker, to be implemented to the letter, Mr. Speaker. I think the committee, after her here, Mr. Speaker, there is sabotage, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I think I'm audible. An honorable member can see me. So, Mr. Speaker, I was saying, after the Budget and Implementation Committee, they have done their best. After this House, Mr. Speaker, adopting this report, we expect, Mr. Speaker, each sectoral committee to take it over, and especially that committee, I have said, led by Honorable Isaiah Maina, Mr. Speaker, to move round, Mr. Speaker, to see that the projects in our wards are implemented. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I urge honorable members, we support it. I second, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Honorable members, the said motion having been moved and seconded, I now wish to propose the question that this House adopts the County Budget and Appropriation Committee report on the Nandi County budget estimates for financial year 2023-2024, laid on the table of the House on 27th June 2023. Honorable Majority Whip, Honorable Keter.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity so that I can also support what the committee has done. It happened that I'm one of the committee members for Budget and Finance. For the first time, Mr. Speaker, not Budget
Do you wish
Committee.
to correct whatever that you've submitted, that you are a member of Budget and Finance or Budget and
Committee,
Appropriation?
Mr. Speaker.
Okay, well, proceed.
Thank
then.
you, Mr. Speaker, for that correction. So, for the first time, Mr. Speaker, we have include everybody in that participation of budget process, including even in departmental level. We managed to console widely, including public participation. I think this was a good experience because I remember, Mr. Speaker, going all the way to Aldai for the same. All the electorates participated in this budget making process. At least the honorable members are aware of what it contains. We discussed in departmental level. We also went for public participation various places, including Dindiret, whereby people they were very happy that this time round, at least we can see some development. So I know, Mr. Speaker, the work of implementation will be so easy because this one is a bit itemized. Most of the 4 dates, at least we can tell, and it will be easier for the members to follow it. And we urge them that now that we have done the budget process, it is only a matter of implementation. So I urge honorable members that we pass this budgetary so that we resume back and the work will begin immediately, Mr. Speaker, sir. So I urge all the members and my colleague that we pass this budget because it is an itemized, it is very clear, it is white and black, and I support.
You can see Honorable Kirongo.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I want to thank the Budget Committee for the good work they've done. Mr. Speaker, I've stood to support this budget. Why, Mr. Speaker? I think it was inclusive. Mr. Speaker, all departments actually participated. And I think, Mr. Speaker, it is good for our people of our county. Mr. Speaker, I think I want to salute our chair for budget for what they've done to this county this time around. This is our first budget, Mr. Speaker, and I want to give honorable members a message of hope that this time around we've seen in our budget the pending bills are reducing. Mr. Speaker, I think this will be our last budget. If you can see, quite a number of money went to flagship project. Mr. Speaker, we decided to be leaders, statesmen, and I really want to cherish my colleagues, honorable members, because we accepted that let us do away with this flagship project this time around. And come next budget, Mr. Speaker, we will be dealing with the projects in our wards. And I really thank the team led by Chair Finance for the Ward Development Fund. So, Mr. Speaker, we are passing this so that actually we complete the issue of pending bills, flagship project, and of course, in this budget, Mr. Speaker, it is balanced. Each and every word is included, and therefore, Mr. Speaker, I urge honorable members that we pass this, and going forward, Mr. Speaker, good things are coming, and I believe that in 2027, 90%, 100% of these honorable members will be back. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I support.
Yes, our honorable member from Kapsabet Ward, Honorable Matata.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I stand to support the report by the budget chair, Mr. Edwin Korir. And Mr. Speaker, if you can see what the budget chair has just read, the budget is actually, there has been a lot of delicate balancing, Mr. Speaker, sir. Mr. Speaker, I want to say that this budget, there was a lot of consultations, a lot of give and take. It is a balanced budget, Mr. Speaker, sir, considering the fact that even in this budget, Mr. Speaker, sir, we have an issue to do with the industrial park at Chemelil Chemase. That industrial park, Mr. Speaker, sir, will create a lot of jobs, and it will change the face of Chemelil Chemase in its entirety, Mr. Speaker, sir. Mr. Speaker, sir, you find that a lot of pending bills have been paid, and it has been captured, Mr. Speaker, sir. A lot of money have been appropriated, especially now when you see in the Department of Roads. From the figure that we were told earlier and to the figure that we have been given right now, Mr. Speaker, sir, a lot of money has been given, 141 million from the earlier 30 million, an increase of around 100 million, Mr. Speaker, sir. Mr. Speaker, sir, you find that we have the issue of completing the flagship projects, like the one now in my ward, the mother and child hospital here, Mr. Speaker. The moment those projects have not been completed, the Mwananchi will not have value for money. But with this budget currently, Mr. Speaker, we really know that those projects will be completed, and the residents of this area will feel the value of money, because we are told that the national government is ready to equip the Mother and Child Hospital here in Kapsabet. Mr. Speaker, sir, I want also to say that with this budget, as we transit to the ward development, this budget will clear all the pending issues so that come next year, 2024, 2025, when we shall have the ward development fund in place, being active, is that now we shall not have issues of pending bills and work in progress. Mr. Speaker, it is my rallying call to all the honorable members that with this budget and the recommendations that the Committee on Budget has just given, that all the procurement plans, they have actually recommended that all the procurements plan be implemented latest 30th of October, which actually will if all the procurements plan will be executed as recommended, you will find that the absorption rate of this budget come next year, it will be around 90 to 95%, which will be a clear indication, Mr. Speaker, sir, that as we move to the next budget of this assembly, most of the money will purely go to the development. It is my call to all the honorable members and to the various committees that now that as we approve this budget, it is our sole responsibility at committee levels as an individual member in the various wards to make sure that you follow it up. Any project that has been identified in your ward for implementation, make sure you start immediately, you follow up that project to be tendered and to be executed so that we go as per the recommendation of the budget. I want to call my friend, Honorable Maina Shangu, that now as we approve this budget, we want to see a full implementation of the budget. There will be no excuses anymore. We want to see implementation of the budget. I want to call upon that let him know all the projects that has been factored in this budget. Let him visit all the departments, because now he is the only chairman who has no limit in visiting any department. He is the only chairman who has the authority to oversight any department. So, Mr. Speaker, sir, I want to call upon my good friend that now we want to see his energy in making sure that this budget is implemented to its fullest. So I want to call all the honorable members that we support the approval of this budget so that the service delivery to our Wananchi will be fast-tracked as it is required. Thank you, honorable members. Thank you very much.
Yes, Honorable Ezra Rotich.
Thank you so much, Honorable Speaker. I rise, Mr. Speaker, to support the wonderful reports given by this wonderful team led by Honorable Edwin Korir on Budget and Appropriation Committee report. Mr. Speaker, as said by other honorable members, Mr. Speaker, you know, the beauty of this budget, Mr. Speaker, lies on implementation of all these recommendations given. Otherwise, if that part fails to take place, Mr. Speaker, all these stories that we are saying here today, Mr. Speaker, will just pass like any normal wind. But I'm so happy, Mr. Speaker, because this committee took their time, sat very well, Mr. Speaker, and gave this wonderful recommendation to guide the main budget. And Mr. Speaker, as I listen and read through this report, Mr. Speaker, being presented by the chairperson, Mr. Speaker, on these recommendations given, Mr. Speaker, the main thing here, Mr. Speaker, on recommendation number 32, Mr. Speaker, that the total resource envelope of Nandi County program-based budget of this financial year, Mr. Speaker, there is one part, Mr. Speaker, that touches on local revenue. A local revenue, Mr. Speaker, of 515,557,531. Mr. Speaker, for such amount of money, Mr. Speaker, to be attained, Mr. Speaker, it needs a whole kind of discussion from several stakeholders for this county government, Mr. Speaker, to attain its local revenue envelope, Mr. Speaker. Because what, at the end of it, Mr. Speaker, causes these issues of pending bills, Mr. Speaker, is the projections that we normally give as the county government, Mr. Speaker. So, it will be a whole discussion now, Mr. Speaker, for the Department of Finance to strategize well, Mr. Speaker. And it will be an addition for them because, Mr. Speaker, already this House have already given the mandate to ensure that we have the municipality within Kapsabet town. It will become easy for the Department of Finance, Mr. Speaker, to attain this record, this local revenue. We have to sit down, Mr. Speaker. If we are going to put behind these issues of pending bills, Mr. Speaker, we must attain these revenues from the locals, Mr. Speaker. And we have other issues, Mr. Speaker, that I saw that, if you see the changes in the estimates here, Mr. Speaker, when we talk of bending bills, as said by the leader of minority there, Mr. Speaker, that we have seen the bending bills are reducing. That's a commendable job, Mr. Speaker, for the department, because we have seen these pending bills reducing. And, for us to ensure that we have that implementation of the bill that we passed earlier, Mr. Speaker, on equitable, there was a name, Nandi County Equitable Development Bill, Mr. Speaker. We cannot manage to implement that if these pending bills are not reduced. If they are reduced to a figure that is manageable, Mr. Speaker, it's easy for us to ensure that we manage that that bill, Mr. Speaker. And so many other issues, Mr. Speaker. I saw a situation whereby the allocation given to KCRH, the mother and baby unit, was increased from a certain percentage from 8 million to 89 million, Mr. Speaker. That is one of the things that we must support in totality, because we must ensure that these mega projects are completed in this financial year. For us, again, Mr. Speaker, as members of this House, to ensure that that Nandi County Equitable Development Bill, or rather Act, is implemented in the next financial year. So, for this hospital to be equipped, Mr. Speaker, it has come to the table of the committee to know that already the national government is prepared to equip this KCRH, for example, Mr. Speaker, even Chepterwai at the other end, even Kabiet at the other end. So it was prudent for this committee, and I must applaud them because they have increased the allocation for completion of all those projects, Mr. Speaker. Now, Mr. Speaker, as I said earlier, the ball now lies with the Committee of Implementation. And I'm so happy because, the chairman is full of energy at this time, this financial year, Mr. Speaker, to ensure that each and every project that is budgeted for in this budget, Mr. Speaker, is implemented to the latter. And we are in as members of that committee, because as I stand here, Mr. Speaker, today, I'm a member of that committee, not only the chair, but also the members of that committee. We will be in to support the chair 101% to ensure that each and every project that is budgeted for in this financial year is implemented to the latter. Mr. Speaker, we have seen that it's easy to absorb 100% of the recurrent expenditure, but it's even harder to do the same when it comes to the development expenditure. So looking forward, Mr. Speaker, to a situation whereby before the end of every financial year, each and everything that has been budgeted for is implemented to the letter. And we know, Mr. Speaker, this county assembly building here, Mr. Speaker, is not exceptional. We are waiting to see the team of implementation going around to ensure that this county assembly that is budgeted for 100 million, Mr. Speaker, is fully operational for us to occupy going forward, Mr. Speaker. Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. I support in totality this budget.
See, Honorable Sang is standard, but I'll give this opportunity to Deputy Majority Whip, Honorable Tololei.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker, sir. I also rise to support the motion moved by our able chair for Budget and Appropriations Committee, Honorable Korir. I really want to support this one and also urge the members to support this budget. One of the issues that has really touched me, I'm one of the members for the Budget and Appropriations, is the Mother and Baby Hospital in Kapsabet. Recently, we've been having outcries from the people of Nandi County concerning the hospital here. And if we really implement the amount of money that has been allocated to this hospital, we will also uplift the face of this house. The other issue on this hospital also is that we've been having our mothers going to Eldoret to deliver, and it has been a shame for Nandi County. So I am very sure that if we do this, we are going to get it. Mr. Speaker, sir, most of the projects that has been highlighted on this budget are just from the people. It is due to the public participation, and we've made sure that we really listen to the issues of the people and follow what they are really talking about. I also want to say thank you so much for all of us passing the bill on the finance bill on Ward Development Fund, because Mr. Chair for Finance and also Chair for Budget, we wish you well. Who knows, maybe the next financial year, the next government, maybe you will be in the offices of the Department for Finance. So we are wishing you well. Let us do it perfectly, and God will organize for you big things ahead. Thank you so much.
Let me give this opportunity to Honorable Isaiah Minor.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I can see that quite a number of honorable members are even beginning to find out things that I'm not sure I'm aware of in terms of energy and so on, but I thank you all for the good wishes. I'm sure we will all be working together. Let me also add my voice to this report. I must, first of all, at the onset, commend the chair. It seems to me to have put a lot of effort towards the same. And I also like to associate myself with the truthfulness in the report in terms of the place where he says, or the report says, that the county treasury is not necessarily compliant with the law. Where I have an issue, honorable members, and I think probably as we go forward, we will find ways and means of correcting, is when we say that there were some concerted efforts, that there were things that were said, and they have not been annexed to the report, so that we see this, so that we can be convinced that this sees this county treasury is having concerted efforts. So I don't know whether it was just a flowery language to say concerted
Point of information, point of order, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Yes, Honorable Majority Whip, on which standing
Is
order?
it in
please?
order for
Which standing order, Honorable Member?
number 90, accuracy of facts?
Yes.
I was with the Honorable Member in Chesumei during the consultation for the said budget, Mr. Speaker, sir. Now he's misleading these Honorable Members. We were together during public participation, also during departmental, I was with him, Mr. Speaker, sir. So is it in order to mislead this House?
Honorable Majority Whip. So you're saying that the Honorable Member is misleading the House? On what aspect?
That there was no consultation over the same budget.
Honorable Isaiah Minor, did I hear you say that there was no consultation?
No, I didn't say that, Honorable Speaker.
Yes.
I wasn't talking about that. I think the Honorable Member did not hear me well. Probably I should, I was just talking about the contents of the report, and I'm sure the chairman and other members, including yourself, because you are a member, would understand that it is indicated very clearly in the report that the county treasury is not in compliance with the law. All right? And it is there, honorable members. You can see it in the report. I was just quoting what is in the report, Honorable Keter. I didn't say anything about public participation. So I hope that's clear. And it is particularly so on the question of the amount of money that goes to emoluments. As we stand today, it is at 40-something. The law requires not more than 35. And that's why I was saying, Honorable Speaker, that sometimes when you think about this, you begin asking yourself whether this House sometimes can make an illegal law. But however, be that as it may, because the ABLE committee has been able to have discussions, but I want to propose, probably, I do not know whether it's too late to have an inclusion of such, that probably we can get to a point where we can be within the law. Because I don't think that this law was just made for just to be seen and not to be followed. So right now we are becoming easily complicit ourselves in some of these recommendations that are outside the law. That's the first one. The other one is this 800 million. I'm aware that this report was brought to this House a little bit earlier. And payments have been going on. I want to imagine that the unspent amount may not necessarily be the 800 million, unless it is. So I don't think that by the time this report came, the executive, the county government stopped working. So probably the figure might be smaller. I don't know, probably the chair
Point of information, the Speaker.
Honorable Minor is seeking your consent. Will you wish to be informed?
Yes, let them.
Yes, you may proceed, Honorable Korir.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I wish to inform Honorable Shangu that clearly in my report, the unspent balances have actually moved down from 800 million to what it is now, which is at 548 million. That is the kind of information I would like to brief to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. I think I missed that. Thank you very much. As you might have noted, I congratulated you earlier on for good work. So, you see, at least you have the... Thank you very much. And so this is an area of concern. I think a member has already mentioned that, yes, we have this development budget. It should be absorbed as much as possible. As a House, And as I think my friend Honorable Matata has indicated, being chair of implementation and working together with the committee, we will strive to ensure that all these monies, particularly those that are slated for development, are absorbed within the time limits. I do realize, though, that there would be a few constraints here and there. Particularly so, I have seen the recommendations. And again, I think probably as a house, we might want to look at that, particularly those timelines. Because you would realize that any tendering process is provided in law. The statutory timelines are provided in law already. And there are times when, for one reason or other, it becomes difficult to really adhere to the same. It can become convoluted, almost sometimes probably even intentionally. Because maybe you have put out a request and the tenders are judged to be not responsive. So probably we might want to have a conversation with the implementers with a view of not micromanaging them in the manner in which these recommendations give. I would have wished that probably we would just say generally that they should, as much as possible, adhere to the law, so that if at the end of the day they delay in a manner that is, they take too long, then probably questions can come. But however, as it is right now, it is a good thing. It's a good thing. It's a good thing, and I commend the committee for doing that. However, we should have this, the executive adhering to the timeline set by the law. Finally, I think it's not very final. I'd like to just make a few other comments. I have also noted that there is a question about the HR database that has come into this report. There is also a realignment, a proposal for realignment. My concern, honorable members, was whether this committee was competent to know that indeed there was such a need for realignment in terms of HR, and whether they were shooting just slightly beyond their weight, hitting beyond their weight, because unless otherwise that they have certain information about how the HR has been, utilized, and the realignment, then sometimes we might just be saying this, and somebody would not understand what would be the requirement for that. Particularly so, is it also then a finding of this house that there is no database for human resource in Nandi County? That Nandi County does not know who are there, the workers. Is it true? Is it possible that they do not know? And if they don't know, because there is a possibility that that is what we are finding, because we have it in our report, that they should establish a database, which means right now they have no idea who they are paying. And it is a pity, honestly, to be in circumstances of that kind. I find that amazing. But anyway, so I would like to call upon the House, as I support this report, that let us take the extra mile. I do know that that group, the service board, we call them here, they have been saying that they are doing probably a due diligence or something like that, but somehow you keep hearing that probably there was an employment. So instead of probably regularizing and rationalizing, I think there is easily some additional people. It is alleged so. But anyway, so I think we have so much that we would like to do. And since this is our first budget, I'd like to end by saying the following. When we were doing the public participation, a few things came to my mind. The number of people, now coming to what Honorable Keter said, the number of people who participated.
Honorable Maina, you please take note of the time that you had 5 minutes.
Okay, I'm winding
but
up.
I'm
Thank you
giving
very
you
much.
further 1 minute.
Yes, that the number of people who participated was a bit low. So this is something that the House also should probably be cognizant of. And I think there was two projects which the chairman assures me that they can still find way. And I hope that you assure me now as I sit here, because the great people of Lesos would like to have those projects being listed as work in progress and not new projects. That is Kapsagara and Cheptingting projects. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I support.
Honorable, I know Honorable Milka Chumba, she's a ranking member. Thereafter, Honorable Birech. Honorable Milka Chumba.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me this chance to contribute. And first of all, I stand to support this motion, the budget. And again, before I proceed, I'd like to thank Honorable Shangu Maina for what you have said. That shows you really deserve to be the chair of the implementation. Go on. Again, I'd like to say chair for the budget and the team. I congratulate you members for what you have done. And all of us, I think, everyone, we go around the entire Nandi County, all our sub-counties, and we heard what our electorates were saying. I am so happy because of, I've gone through this document, and I've seen that a lot of money have been increased in every project, especially the mother and baby, Chapter Y, cooling plan in Kabiet, and all those projects which are ongoing. And again, I'd like to say, our honorable elected members, you are lucky this year or this time, because now we have passed appeal. I congratulate Honorable CPAK Birech. We are past the World Development Fund, and this budget also has a lot of money. So if you, this is to say, we have paired a twin child today. You have World Development Fund here, and the budget here is very smart. You have a lot of money. And as nominated members, we would like to tell you that we are one and we are part and parcel of you. Whenever there is something going on in your ward, if it, which touches women, inform us. Regardless of any word, if it is water, we must be there as nominated. Call us. As we are now also praying that in future, or as time goes, we have also a goodwill of which we will be given also affirmative fund. And there is something cooking up there. But this one, we support you. And you are saying that if there is anything crucial, call us, because we as nominated, we are bigger than you, because we govern the entire Nandi County, and you govern the only ward. Thank you, I support.
Honorable Birech, Paul.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me this opportunity. First and foremost, let me thank the budget committee, led by my friend, Honorable Korir, who is also a colleague in finance field. I would really want to thank him and his team for the work well done. In fact, I noticed the weight of Korir has reduced significantly by around 3 or 4 kilos. I don't know why, probably maybe because of a lot of workload. However, I feel like I should give my professional view on this budget. First, I've said I congratulate and I support. But however, I need to give my professional view on this budget. That one, Honorable Speaker, there's what we call budget legal framework. That's what we call budget legal framework. Was it in accordance with the BFM Act? And I think it was well stipulated by the budget committee on their recommendation. The BFM Act, Section 107, talks about the minimums and the maximums in terms of personal emoluments and in terms of development. On the budget reports, this budget represents 32.7% against the BFM Act, which states 30%. Number two, on personnel, that was on development, on personnel costs. The BFM Act gives us, I think it's a regulation, that is 2015. BFM Regulation 2015, it gives us 35%. But on this budget, it gives us 42.67% on personnel costs. That again is against what the BFM Act and the regulation states. Two, in compliance with approved county fiscal strategy. In compliance with approved county fiscal strategy paper, both on recurrent and development. Honorable Speaker, I can take you through on the budgets committee report. In compliance with approved county fiscal strategy paper. The recurrent, for example, on a full title of Administration and Public Service ICT, the recurrent ceiling that we passed on this floor of the House, the ceiling was 319,144,715. The recurrent is 263,189,4. That is a deviation on this report. That's a deviation of 55,955,000, not complied with the fiscal framework. But I don't want to go on that. I want to base on development, on what the fiscal strategy paper says on development. And I will go directly to health and sanitation. Health and sanitation. On health and sanitation, we set a ceiling in this floor of the House of 375 on development, 375,601, 375,600,000. But what happened? The development expenditure on this is 301,084. We could not maximize the ceiling on health and sanitation. Why? Of 74,515,374. We were supposed to maximize.
Point of order, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Birech, you should remain seated. Honorable Keter John.
Mr. Speaker, on accuracy of facts, I want the Honorable Member, Birech, because he's a CPM, Mr. Speaker, to read to us where it says fiscal strategy paper must be exactly the same as the budget. Let them read us, Mr. Speaker, so that we accept what he's saying.
Honorable Birech, will you be able to substantiate that?
Honorable Speaker, I'm just giving an example of what is a budget committee have passed. And I think,
Honorable Birech,
thank you, Honorable.
Are you in a position to inform the House from that particular point of order as regard the fiscal strategy paper vis-a-vis the budget?
Honorable Speaker, fiscal strategy paper determines the ceilings of each and every department that has been given. Of course, there is no law or provision that specify. But we are working on the ceilings that is Honorable House passed.
Point of information, Mr. Speaker.
You want to inform Honorable Birech?
Honorable Birech, yes.
Birech, will you take that from the Honorable Member?
Because he's my colleague, I would love to.
Honorable Korir, proceed to inform Honorable Birech and the entire House.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I wish to inform the Honorable, my colleague, friend, Honorable Birech, and the Honorable House that the same PFM Act stipulates that, and it gives allowances to the concerned CEC in charge of finance and economic planning to do some variations, provided it is well explained. Now that the case scenario in point is that there was some variation based on conditional grants. That is why it has moved. The development expenditure, the development vote has moved from the 32.27, it has moved to 34% of the development. That is why at the time of doing the conditional allocation, the conditional revenue allocation bill, by the time it was passed, we had already passed the CFSP. I wish to inform you like that. Thank you.
Honorable Speaker, on that also accuracy of funds, as a senior member, ranking member in this.
Honorable Sang, Honorable Sang, you out of order. Honorable Sang, you out of order. Honorable Birech, proceed, please.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I think,
Mr. Speaker,
Honorable Keter.
I stand on a point of order, Mr. Speaker, and I ask the member, Mr. Speaker, to tell me exactly if, yes, we must stick, or it can be changed. It has not answered, Mr. Speaker, so that it should not mislead the House.
Honorable Keter, Honorable Keter.
Yeah, let them tell me, is it exactly, or it can be...
Honorable Keter,
Yeah.
I think Honorable Birech was on his feet. Honorable Birech.
Thank you.
He has raised a point of order.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. And I think in future, Honorable Kadel should be attentive and keen whenever an Honorable Speaker is speaking. I think Honorable Korir of Budget and Appropriation has went ahead and explained satisfactorily, but that it is at the powers of CC Finance and Economic Planning to determine on the variation. So the explanations of Honorable Korir is satisfactory. So I think one, I said on budget legal framework, and number two, I talk of compliance with approved county fiscal strategy paper for both recurrent and development. On two, budget as a format of being what...
Honorable Birech, before you proceed further, Honorable Keter had raised a point of order. Would you wish to clarify that?
The question of Honorable Keter, I think I've said, the power is vested with the CEC of Finance in determining the ceilings of each and every department. But my concern was, why don't we stick to to the ceilings that this honorable house passed. That was my concern. And I don't think I have said there is an illegality. Yeah? I have not said there is an illegality, no. I have said, why don't we stick to the ceilings that has been approved by this honorable house? But Honorable Korir has gone ahead and explained that the powers vests with the CC in charge of finance, which I'm satisfied with that case. Number two, the presentation of this budget is in accordance with international accounting standards. And that one, I must appreciate both the CEC in charge of finance and the members of Budget and Appropriation Committee, because the approved format of presenting the budget.
Point of inquiry, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Balala, what do you want to inquire?
Through you, Mr. Speaker, I just want to inquire, are we listening to an opinion from the Honorable Birech, or we are listening to what is stipulated by the PFM Act?
Honorable Birech.
Honorable Speaker, I think it should be clear, and my friend should understand. What I'm doing here, I'm giving my own view on behalf of people of Tindred on what the budget states. I'm not here to teach him on whether we are on BFM Act. I think he will have his own time to explain on his view about the budget. Finally, on authenticity and accuracy of the budget.
Point of clarification, Mr. Speaker.
What is it, Honorable Matata?
You know, Mr. Speaker, I'm not an accountant by profession, but now I need to clarification from you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Now that Honorable Birech is talking about the ceilings that we approved in this house, that Health and Sanitation Department were given a ceiling of 375 million. So, Mr. Speaker, I would like you to clarify. Is it a must that the departmental budget should be 375? Secondly, Mr. Speaker, he is also quoting, I'm not a lawyer, but he is also quoting the law. In my understanding, the law is that the budget allocation for development should not be less than 30% of the total budget. It should be on minimum 30. But now what the budget committee has done, they have given 32.34, which is actually a plus on the development vote. So I'm wondering, Mr. Speaker, you know, Mr. Speaker, we should not use your profession to confuse us in this house. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Matata, I think Honorable Korir had clarified the issue. Yeah, he had made some strong submissions over the same. Honorable Birech, your time is running.
Point of order, Honorable Speaker.
Yes, on what point of order, Honorable?
Standing order number 96, Honorable Speaker, under time.
Standing order number?
96, Honorable Speaker, under time. As Honorable Birech continues to confuse members, Honorable Speaker, he has also spent over 15 minutes, Honorable Speaker, giving us confusions here, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Majority Leader, are you insinuating that Honorable Birech is confusing the members? Nevertheless,
Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Majority Leader,
yes, Honorable Speaker.
I know that Honorable Birech has been on his feet. He's had several interruptions. But then, Honorable Birech, under 30 minutes for you to finish your submissions. The 30 seconds. 30 seconds.
Speaker, 30 seconds is not enough for me. Because as I've been doing my presentation.
I have made a decision, Honorable Birech, under 30 seconds, finish your submissions.
All right. Thank you.
Point of order, Honorable Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Majority Leader, Honorable Birech.
Under number 90, Honorable Speaker, the way Honorable Tildai was asking the question from the CPA, he should respond and maybe withdraw the statement, Honorable Speaker, because when you read the report from the chairman, he has indicated clearly very well that under the adherence to the provision of Section 107 of the PFM Act 2012, Section 107(2)(b) of the PFM Act, Honorable Speaker, it indicates that not less than 30% should go to development. And when you see the report of the chairman, the amount of 2,976,750,014 shillings has gone to development, which is 32.79%, which is above 30%, Honorable Speaker. And Honorable CPA Birej is telling us the CC Finance has contravened the PFM Act, which is very wrong, Honorable Speaker. He should withdraw that statement and give this House the right.
Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Birej.
Honorable Speaker, I think we need to be candid on our discussion. Now, should I respond to matter that has been raised by my colleagues? Or should I respond, or should I go ahead and proceed with my presentation?
Honorable Birej, you know, a point of orders have been raised by the honorable members, and you either substantiate or you withdraw those particular submissions.
Honorable Speaker, nobody has said that the CC Finance has contravened the law. What we were saying on specific, on personnel costs, we are talking 42.67% against the 35%. Isn't that outside what the law says? So we need to be candid and honest whenever you are presenting the information using. I have derived my presentation from the report of the budget committee. And I have said, I personally support this budget with all my mind and everything. However, and finally, I just want to say, and finally.
Honorable Birej, I'm afraid that the 30 seconds that are granted you has now lapsed. Honorable Kagoni.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Let me thank the Committee of Budget led by the able chair, Honorable Edwin Koril, for the work they have done on this report. Honorable Speaker, I have to commend the team for the work they have done, especially on public participation. There are some recommendations that came from public participation, like adding 2 million for acquisition of tools for trades for the youth. Honorable Speaker, due to the fact that we have vocational training in our county, and most of the youth train there, and they come out with no tools to come start trade, I really hope that that recommendation is taken into account and more than 6 million is put into the Department of Sports so that they can buy those tools as recommended by the public committee, during the public participation. Honorable Speaker, I've heard so many people commenting on implementation committee, and I would like to invite them to Kabuareng Ward, especially since I've seen that on the budget, the Department of Roads and Transportation has been increased with over 110 million. In my ward, Mr. Speaker, a location called Bonjoge, every day I go home, they complain about roads, especially after these heavy rains. And I hope this money can be actually get to the people and they can see the difference. And I can promise the people of Kabuareng Ward that roads this time round will be done, because on the budget, the Department of Roads have been added money. So the issues of lack of fuel, equipment failure, and every other issues that they bring up will be an issue of the past. So I really commend the Department of, the Committee of Budget on the report that they have done and all the recommendations. And I'll be very happy to bring the Department of, once they have done, to welcome the Department of the Implementation Committee to Kabuareng Ward to oversee what this budget has done to Kabuareng Ward people. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Because of time, I yield my time. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Martin Douglas.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to take this opportunity, Mr. Speaker, to congratulate the committee, Mr. Speaker, for a well-done job, Mr. Speaker. I stand, Mr. Speaker, to support, just like my honorable friend from Tinderet Ward, Mr. Speaker, for supporting this budget, Mr. Speaker. And Mr. Speaker, I think, Mr. Speaker, I want to believe, Mr. Speaker, that the pending bills have actually taken a substantial amount of money in this the budget that we are intending to pass, Mr. Speaker. And I want to believe, Mr. Speaker, that this is the last time we are hearing the issue of these pending bills. Because, Mr. Speaker, the public are really eager and waiting for execution of these execution of the projects in their wards, Mr. Speaker, in their various wards, Mr. Speaker. I only stand, Mr. Speaker, to support this budget because it is the last time I'm hearing this pending bills issue. Come next year, the budget for 2023-2024, Mr. Speaker, and that is the time when we will be actually having a realization of this ward fund, development fund, Mr. Speaker. I want to believe that a lot of monies in the next subsequent budget, Mr. Speaker, will go to the ward development fund. And that is all, Mr. Speaker. And Mr. Speaker, without much ado, Mr. Speaker, we have actually conversed a lot of stories, supporting, doing what, recommendation, Mr. Speaker. Could you, Mr. Speaker, please put the question, Mr. Speaker? And we end this issue once and for all, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Balala, was it necessary for you to make your submissions and thereafter ask the chair to put the question? Honorable Bet.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I also rise to say thank you to the Appropriation and Budget Committee. They have done a good work. This budget has walked a long journey. This budget has really walked a long journey. And this is a journey that all of us, each and every MCA, whether elected or nominated, in one way or another, we've all participated to ensure we have this document today. Every member was involved. All the views from various parties, all the way from public participation, technocrats, and this is where we are today, to debate and adopt this budget of 2023-2024. Honorable members, let us not poke holes into this document. It is shocking that all of us went to respective areas to participate. Then we are raising issues of concern, the issues that were supposed to be raised in some stages behind us. Ranking members are here today with us. They can tell us and they can give testimony that this is one of the budgets that everybody was involved. All the way from executive, public, and members of county assembly. I think from my view, no any other budget since the path of devolution has gone through such stages. I can say this is one of the best document and the budget we have today. Let us all support it because this is a document that is going to transform the lives of our people.
Honorable Bet, Honorable Maina is raising on a point of order. And standing order number what? Honorable member.
On accuracy of facts, could the honorable member substantiate how he found out that this is the budget which has gone through such a, how he is describing it? Can he substantiate?
Mr. Speaker, sir, let me inform.
Speaker, maybe I need to inform the Honorable Sang.
Honorable Sang, Honorable Bet, or rather you raise.
Honorable Speaker, an information because
whom do you want to inform?
I need to inform Honorable the way he was asking on the accuracy of facts. That
So,
but
whom do you
Honorable
want
Bet
to inform?
stipulates that the ranking members know. I can confirm that what Honorable Bet is saying, because I'm one of the, this is the best. So we cannot, this is the accuracy of facts I'm giving Honorable Speaker as a ranking member. That the way Honorable Bet is saying that this is the best budget so far. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Mr.
Yes,
Speaker.
no,
Mr. Speaker, sir.
Honorable
Speaker,
Bet.
sir. Honorable Shangu, I'm sorry to say this, has been away for most of this time when we are participating. He has spent so much time outside this county assembly, and the public participation we've had even in his ward. So he should be informed that all parties
Point
were
of order,
involved.
Mr. Speaker.
I stand to
Honorable
support this
Bet,
document.
Honorable Bet, Honorable Bet, Honorable
Is it in
Maina.
order? Is it in order for the honorable member to discuss me? Is it in order for him to discuss an honorable member instead of making submissions on what the subject matter of this session? Is it in order?
Mr. Speaker, sir.
Honorable Bet.
I want to say this, with all due respect.
Kindly, Speaker, protect me.
Honorable Maina, I'm about to make a ruling. Honorable Bet,
Mr.
would
Speaker,
you-
sir, it is in public domain that this is one of the budgets that every stakeholder was involved.
Honorable Bet,
Shangu
as
was
regards
asking,
the issue, Honorable Maina has raised an issue.
he raised that, how sure I am that this is a document that everybody participated. And I'm giving him an answer,
So
Mr.
should I
Speaker.
proceed to make a ruling that you're out of order to discuss the
So-
honorable member?
I withdraw and apologize.
Yes, then you may proceed.
Document in totality, let us adopt it. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Sang.
Okay, thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I rise, seeing that we are in agreement with honorable members, to move a motion that the motion mover to give right of reply, so that we can move to the next step.
Whom are you calling to second your motion?
I second.
No.
I
Yeah,
second.
honorable.
I second
Because
the motion.
I'm not trusting honorable Kirwa. Eh? He is not also a member of the committee. He can do so otherwise. So I will call upon the honorable Truvosa Kuta to second.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I arise also to support that this motion should be passed on, because I judge as by the members, the mood of the members, the whole House are supporting this document. Thank you so much.
Honorable members, I now put the question that the mover of the motion be called to make a right of reply. Will as many as of similar opinion say aye?
Aye.
Will as many as of contrary opinion say nay? Ayes have it. Honorable Korir.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. First and foremost, I really wish to appreciate the members. We've had a very constructive discussion. We've taken through, and I want to really appreciate, because whatever we were having today as a committee's report, for sure, most of the members have really appreciated. I really want to wish and appreciate very much the membership. More particularly, when I began this process with my team, I want to really appreciate them. And more particularly, we engaged each and every member in this house, and we have really engaged a number of stakeholders within the county, both the executive and even that of the public. I want to say thank you so much. I think I'll be seeking for forgiveness, particularly for some chairmen, because I really had to take through a very rigorous practice to ensure them that they were going to present. But that is going to be the way and the direction. I want to say thank you because you have owned it up. In bid to also reply, is that now that as we proceed to pass this budget, for the first budget for the third assembly, I wish to say that what now remains to all of us is to oversight. I want to appreciate Honorable Shangu being the chair implementation. I have had members directing a lot of queries to him. I wish to say that we will all support you, Honorable Shangu, in terms of implementation, and particularly the Committee on Budget and Appropriation. It is actually our duty to ensure that we are also evaluating and also ensuring that something is done, particularly in terms of implementation. So I want to call upon the entire House. Let us ensure that we are supporting and do oversight, because what is very important is having passed a budget, we've appropriated as a committee. But what is left for us as individual members is to ensure that we are doing oversight. I wish to rally upon the entire membership, the honorable members, that any other part of implementation you take up from there and pick up from the concerned departments to see to it that. And I think I confirm that His Excellency the Governor once time told this House that it is very important that we help and ensure that we are oversighting. So ensure that you are working with the concerned departments so that services to these residents of county is well delivered. So I want to say thank you. And lastly, I wanted to also reply on terms of emolment. I want to appreciate Honorable Birech. He brought up an issue on to do with the wage bill. So I think that one we are now, when we picked up as a house, I remember under CIPROF, the first document that we did as a house, we were still at 52%. Now the exercise that has gone on, we are now, from this document, we are at 40.6%. I'm sure with the exercise that is being undertaken by His Excellency the Governor and even the Service Board, I know Chair Administration has been undertaking some exercise together with the team. I'm sure once we get that report, next time we are likely going to, that was our recommendation, we are likely going to meet that budget, target of 35% emolument-wise. So, Honorable Shangu, you talked much about HR issues and public service. What informed that recommendation is the figure works, the percentage of 40.6%. That is, and we are concerned, it's our duty to review and advise. So that is where we are headed. Otherwise, I want to thank you so much, and thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for the opportunity. I thank you for the support. Thank you.
Honorable members, I now wish to put the question that this House adopts the County Budget and Appropriations Committee report on the Nandi County budget estimates for the financial year 2023-2024 as laid on the table of the House on 27th June 2023. Will as many as of similar opinion say ayes?
Aye.
And will as many as of contrary opinion say nay? Ayes have it. Next order.
Order number 12, the Nandi County Appropriation Bill number 1 of 2023, first reading. The long title, a bill for an act of the County Assembly to authorize the issue of a sum of money out of the County Revenue Fund and its appropriation towards the service of the year ending on the 30th June 2024, and to appropriate that sum and a sum forwarded on account by the County Assembly for certain public services and purposes.
Next order.
Order number 13, the Nandi County Appropriation Bill number 1 of 2023, second reading.
Honorable Korir.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I wish to move a motion, having been read the first time, I wish to move a motion that it be read the second time, Appropriation Bill number 1 of 2023. Pursuant to Section 135 of PFM Act 2012, the County Executive has prepared the Appropriation Bill number 1 of 2023. Hereby forwarded is the bill for the financial year 2023-2024. A bill for an act of the County Assembly, sorry. I proceed. Consultation.
Proceed, Honorable Korir, proceed.
Okay. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Having received the bill, the appropriation bill, we have just passed the bill, and there is the envelope actually contained that the amount, the sum total of the Kenya shillings, County Treasury may have under the same county revenue fund. The same amount that has just been passed is Kenya shillings 9,363,316,922 shillings. As indicated, this same or the said bill will really be able to appropriate for the same fund and the same amount, and it captures that. It has been indicated, as we have deliberated so well, to do with the development expenditure and recurrent expenditure. We have that, and the same contains the same amount. 34.7% will go to development expenditure, and the balance of the same will actually get to recurrent expenditure. I therefore wish to say that having done that, it is imperative, and I rally upon the House so that we can be able to move the, be able to appropriate, ensure that we pass the appropriation bill to allow the county government spend the same amount. I therefore wish to call upon the Honorable Vice Chair, Honorable Tildai, to second. Thank you.
Honorable members, I therefore proceed to propose the question that the Nandi County Appropriation Bill number 1 of 2023 be read the second time. Honorable Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I raise, Honorable Speaker, to support the appropriation bill of number 1 of 2023, which has been read by our APO Chair, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, this is now the process whereby we are giving the figures into law, Honorable Speaker. And I'm happy that, Honorable Speaker, in this bill, we have acquired some few important issues, Honorable Speaker. Number 1, Honorable Speaker, and I'm elated on this, Honorable Speaker, we are aware of Chesumei sub-county has not been having the credit, Honorable Speaker, for some time. And now that in the budget we have passed just some minutes ago, Honorable Speaker, we have budgeted the new credit so that it can capture all the wards across the county, Honorable Speaker, and all the sub-counties. So this new credit, Honorable Speaker, will assist the people of Chesumei and the entire county, Honorable Speaker. Number 2, Honorable Speaker, when you look at the pending bills, Honorable Speaker, most of the contractors has been suffering, Honorable Speaker, because of the late payment of pending bills, Honorable Speaker. And in this budget, Honorable Speaker, all the pending bills have been captured so that all the contractors are paid on time, Honorable Speaker, so that they can do their work according to their awards of the tenders, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I'm also happy as the member of Kabiet Ward, Honorable Speaker, since the amount which has been budgeted for the completion of the processing plan in Kabiet, Honorable Speaker. And I think this one, the way honorable members said, they say that when we complete these flagship projects, right, Kabiet processing plan in Kabiet, the Mosoria textile in Mosoria, in Tindriet we have the coffee factory, Honorable Speaker. In Jepterwe we have an hospital, and all the other flagship projects like the County Referral Hospital, Honorable Speaker. This will allow for the remaining funds, Honorable Speaker, in the subsequent year, so that it can be allocated in the ward development fund, Honorable Speaker, so that it can gather all the wards across the county, Honorable Speaker. So I'm happy, Honorable Speaker, as a member of Kabiet and as majority leader, Honorable Speaker, that most of the flagship projects, Honorable Speaker, up to including the assembly complex, has been budgeted, Honorable Speaker, so that we can complete on time and ensure we get value for money, Honorable Speaker. Otherwise, I support this appropriation bill, Honorable Speaker, so that we can make this budget into law, Honorable Speaker. I support. Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, reading the mood of the House is saying you can vote the question.
Honorable Keter, you forced me to read the mood of the House. I think I'll just put the question without reading the mood of the House, that the Nandi County Appropriation Bill number 1 of 2023 be read the second time. Will as many as of similar opinion say aye?
Aye.
Will as many as of contrary opinion say nay? Ayes have it. Next order.
Order number 14, the Nandi County Appropriation Bill number 1 of 2023, Committee of the Whole House.
Order members. Order. Only 1 minute. And then we shall continue with the Committee of the Whole House. So the session is still on. Honorable members, only 1 minute so that we can begin this this appropriation bill. Now the Committee of the Whole House, I'm expecting the chairman maybe in 1 minute so that we can start the appropriation bill. So meanwhile, Chairman Budget. Chairman, budget, you come for consultation so that you cannot move the wrong things. Honorable members, I'm in fact 1 minute, one that remain to silence so that we can move. We can also in low tone. We are still in plenary, and before we report to the speaker, I request you that let us be silent so that we can conclude this exercise. Order members. Order members. Yeah, I know you are consulting. 212 for the vehicle reimbursement for the members of the County Assembly as a benefit for conferred by the CSRC Kenya Kasete. So we are in order. It is there.
So, honorable members, order.
We are now in the committee of the whole house, and I call upon the clerk to read for us the clauses.
Schedules on recurrent expenditure R4411, R4412, R4413, R4415, R4416, R4417, R4418, R4419, R4420, R4421, R4422, R4423, R4424, and R4425.
Honorable members, I propose that the schedule on the recurrent expenditure R4421, R4412, R4413, R4415, R4416, R4417, R4418, R4419, R4420, R4421, R4422, R4423, R4424, R4425 be part of the bill. Honorable members, I now put the question that the schedule on the recurrent expenditure R4411, R4412, R4413, R4415, R4416, R4417, R4418, R4419, R4420, R4421, R4422, R4423, R4424, R4425 be part of the bill.
Point of order.
Will as many of a similar opinion say aye?
Aye.
Will as many of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Clerk, next.
Subtotal for recurrent expenditure of Kenya shillings 6,159,889,282.
Honorable members, I propose the question that the subtotal for recurrent expenditure of 6,159,889,282 shillings be part of the bill. I now put the question that the subtotal for the recurrent expenditure of 6,159,889,282 be part of the bill. Will as many of a similar opinion say aye?
Aye.
Will as many of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Next, clerk.
Point of order, Mr. Speaker. Oh, Mr. Chairman, sorry.
Yes, Honorable Kimboy.
I think there is an issue with the numbering of the vote numbers. 4411, 4412, 13, 14, 15. We don't have number 16. And since we don't have number 16, then we will, technically number 25 will not be there. So I think the numbering should be up to number 20, 24, or yeah, I think 24.
Yeah, you read 16, it is not there.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable. Thank you, Honorable Kemboi. As you also moved that one, maybe it was only the typing error, so we will also be reduced up to number 24. So we will let the other one to be from after 15. Now after 16, now 15 now will become 16. I think that is in order because all departments are captured according to the recurrent expenditure. Okay, next, Honorable. I think that one is captured and should be noted.
Chairman, number 22 again is not there.
24 is there.
22.
Yeah, and that is what I was to say also.
Now we have no, that one is on development, but you are talking on the recurrent.
Okay.
We have development, that one say D is for development and R is for recurrent. We might use the same numbering, but we'll be concerned there. Honorable Balala, you need to you concentrate, Honorable Balala, so that we can move this and as we correct the anomalies. So next, I think we had proposed about the subtotal, and before, I think that is the only place that I'll require to put the question on that. I now put the question as the subtotal of the recurrent expenditure of 6,159,889,222 be part of the bill. 82. Will as many of a similar opinion say aye?
Aye.
Will as many of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I think as we move, we need to be very keen on the numbering. Next, clerk.
Schedule for development expenditure of D4411, D4412, D4413, D4414, D4415, D4417, D4418, D4419, D4420, D4421, D4423, D4424.
Okay, the motion mover for that one because we will, what have been read by the clerk, the status at the part of the bill now without the others. So the motion mover, you can move the amendment so that we can move. I propose, now before the motion mover, I propose that the schedule on development expenditure, D4411, D4412, D4413, D4414, D4415, D4417, D4418, D4419, D4420, D4421, D4423, and D4424. Motion mover? Yeah, I never mentioned that, Honorable. I never mentioned. In fact, I skipped according from the. I think you are right, but we will never appropriate for that in this paper, this appropriation bill.
Chairman.
Yes, Honorable Mosbey.
My worry could be that if we don't make the necessary corrections, who knows, somebody can use that mischievously, the gap in numbers, those codes, honestly. Chairman, let's do something, because you might realize later on.
Thank you, Honorable.
Thank you, Chairman.
Honorable Mosbey, the teacher Mosbey, you are okay, you are right. But it is done in here in the assembly before we move to give to the executive for approval and the speaker. So we'll make all the correction before we send. So I think you are in order, but I think that one will be done. Honorable, the motion mover now on the development.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. I wish to move a motion on amendment that the bill be amended by deleting the following words: salaries and expenses in its entirety, and again to also move the motion on the numbering from D4411 to D4422.
Yes, continue, Honorable.
Honorable Chair, I wish to move a motion on amendment that the bill be amended by deleting the following words: salaries and expenses in its entirety, and numbering from D4411 to D4422. And I now wish to call upon Honorable Majority Whip to second.
Thank you. Honorable members, I now propose that the annex just read by the clerk, that is D4411, D4412, D4413, D4414, D4415, D4417, D4418, D4419, D4420, D4421, D4423, and D4424, and the amendments. If there is any comment from the members, I allow you make some comments before I proceed to put the question.
Chair,
Honorable Keter.
Yeah, Chair, proceed to put the question because I'm seeing time is not on our side.
Honorable members, I now propose the schedule as amended on development be part of the bill. Will as many of a similar opinion say aye?
Aye.
Will as many of a contrary opinion say nay?
Nay.
The ayes have it. Next, clerk.
Subtotal for development expenditure of Kenya shillings 3 billion 203 million 427 640.
Honorable members, I now put the question that the subtotal for the recurrent expenditure of 3 billion of development of 3 million 203 billion 203 million 427,640 be part of the bill. Will as many of a similar opinion say aye?
Aye.
Will as many of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Next.
The development expenditure, the grand total of Kenya shillings 9 billion 363 million 316,922.
Honorable members, I now put the question that the grand total for development expenditure of Kenya shillings 9 billion 363 million 9 billion 363 million 316,922 shillings be part of the bill. Will as many of a similar opinion say aye?
Aye.
Will as many of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Next.
Clause 2.
Honorable members, I propose that clause 2 be part of the bill. I now put the question that clause 2 be part of the bill. Will as many of a similar opinion say aye?
Aye.
Will as many of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Next, clerk.
Clause 3.
Honorable members, I propose that clause 3 be part of the bill. Honorable members, I therefore put the question that clause 3 be part of the bill. Will as many of a similar opinion say aye?
Aye.
Will as many of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Next, clerk.
Clause 4.
Honorable members, I propose that clause 4 be part of the bill. I now put the question that clause 4 be part of the bill. Will as many of a similar opinion say aye?
Aye.
Will as many of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Clerk, next.
Clause 1.
Honorable members, I propose that the clause 1 be part of the bill. I now put the question that the clause 1 be part of the bill. Will as many of a similar opinion say aye?
Aye.
Will as many of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Clerk, next.
The long title, which is that an act of county assembly to authorize the issue of a sum of money of the county revenue fund and its application towards the service of the year ending on 30th June 2024, and to appropriate that sum and a sum voted on account by County Assembly for certain public services and purposes.
Honorable members, I propose that the long title be part of the bill. I now put the question that the long title be part of the bill. Will as many of a similar opinion say aye?
Aye.
Will as many of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Next, clerk.
The short title.
Honorable members, I propose that the short title be part of the bill. Honorable members, I now put the question that the short title be part of the bill. Will as many of a similar opinion say aye?
Aye.
Will as many of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Honorable members, we have come to the end. I request the Honorable Chair to do the reporting before we move to the next. Now, the Honorable Chair, Honorable Korir, to do the reporting. Honorable Chair.
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Chair. I beg to move that the committee do report to the House its consideration of the Nandi County Appropriation Bill 1 of 2023 and its approval therefore with amendments. And I wish to call upon the Honorable Vice Chair to second.
Thank you, Honorable Korir and the Vice. Now, Honorable members, I will put the question, which is that committee do report to the House its consideration of Nandi County Appropriation Bill number 1 of 2023 and its approval therefore with amendment. Therefore, members, we have come to the end of the Committee of the Whole House. Now we expect that we'll move now to report. You need to stand, honorable members. That is the direction. Honorable members, you know you don't leave the chair when it is vacant. That one, it is a story of the other day, or another day. But we'll consider if need be.
Honorable Deputy Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I beg to report that the Committee of the Whole House has considered the Nandi County Appropriation Bill number 1 of 2023 and approved the same with amendment.
Honorable Korir.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the House do agree with the committee in the said report, and I now call upon Honorable Trufosa Kuto to second.
Honorable members, I will propose a question, which is that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. Therefore, proceed to put the question, which is that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. Will as many as similar opinions say ayes?
Aye.
And will as many as of contrary opinion say nay? Ayes have it. Next order.
Order number 15. The Nandi County Appropriation Bill number 1 of 2023, third reading.
Honorable Korir.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, sir, I beg to move that the Nandi County Appropriation Bill number 1 of 2023 be now read at that time. And I wish to request Honorable Leader of Majority, Honorable Majority Whip to second. Thank you.
Honorable members, I will propose a question, which is that the Nandi County Appropriation Bill number 1 of 2023 be now read a third time. Honorable Sangutei, can see your mic is on.
Just put the question.
Honorable Milka Chumba.
Yes, thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me this chance. And I have seen members are so tired, even the Deputy Speaker talking when sitting. That is not in order. So what I can say is that I will like to thank everybody here.
Honorable Speaker.
Put the question.
Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I've heard Honorable Milka Jumba stating that I talked while I was not the one. I've never said anything. In fact, he's confusing the deputy majority and the deputy speaker. She's not. You're talking about the ranking member.
Seated, Honorable Milka remain seated. Honorable Sang is making submissions. Honorable Sang, proceed.
So he should tell the members, not confusing the members. The deputy speaker spoke while I was seated. In fact, it was a deputy majority, and the deputy speaker and the deputy majority are two different names. So you should be informed.
Are you also saying that the deputy minority is speaking while sitting?
Yes, he was seated. He's confirmed.
Honorable Milka, will you please?
Thank you, Honorable Deputy Speaker. That is a slip of the tongue. I was meaning Deputy Majority Leader, not the Deputy Speaker. And I think, Honorable Sang, you know that I was not revering you because I was seated next to you. And I was pointing in front here, which means, even if, without even telling you, it is just, I confused. So I apologize. And that's why I was saying that reading the mood of the House, we have done today, members. And I congratulate you. Everybody who is still sitting down here, you are a member and a half. Thank you very much.
Honorable Keter.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. You see, this is the goodness of having professionals in budget. The reason why you see there are not many questions, Mr. Speaker side, is because the work that was done in committee level, it was due to, we have a lot of professionals, within the committee members, and also the match was done consultation. So, Mr. Speaker, I suggest that we
Point
put
of order,
the
Mr.
question.
Speaker. Well, Honorable Kemboy, I'm standing order number 90, Mr. Speaker, on accuracy of facts. Is the member insinuating that other committees have no professionals, Mr. Speaker? Can he please
Honorable
substantiate,
Keter,
Mr.
back to
Speaker?
you. Are you insinuating that other committee members do not have professionals in those committees?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. That is not the case. I was talking about the committee for budgets committee, Mr. Speaker. So I never mentioned any other committee. So in this case, we have professional, Mr. Speaker, sir. I never mentioned any other. I was only specifically to the budget committee. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
So, Honorable Kemboy, you heard what Honorable Ketera submitted.
Not
That he was only
not
making
satisfied
reference-
though,
He was only
because
making reference to.
he went ahead actually to say that since there are no maybe debates regarding the said bill.
But he's clarified that. Is that okay?
Most obliged.
Thank you. Honorable Sang.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Maybe it's only me to congratulate the committee for the job well done. I think for once, as said by Honorable Keter, that the committee took a lot of time discussing the document. The only thing is, or the only part is that we request the state committee also with the implementation so that what has been passed here to be done. So that when come to the next financial year, we should not be having any other issues of the historical pending bills. We should not be having the pending bill. I don't know the difference between the pending bill and historical, but we should clarify. And also thank the Honorable Birech for once. When he was expressing himself at times, he was saying I have issues. Today he said there is no issue, and everything was done in the right manner. He tried to explain himself, but by the end of the day, he was cut off at. So what I wanted to say is that Honorable Birech and the other members that contributed and all members that are here, I want to say thank you. Thank you for the chair, and thank you for the other members of this committee. Otherwise, I've seen the Department of Roads that we have been given additional funds, about 111 million. And that's the problem now when we are talking about these roads of ours. So the implementation chair and the others want to ensure that the roads in our ward are passable without even fear or favor, without even having all those things. I know most of us, can you ask members what you require from your ward? So long as we are budgeted, you must be given. And that's what should be done to ensure that the most desirable delivery in our county is done. Otherwise, members, I thank you, and God bless you. God bless you all.
Honorable Keter, John.
Mr. Speaker, mine is to congratulate the three members, Mr. Speaker, specially elected, Mr. Speaker, Honorable Stanley, Honorable Salma, and Honorable Milka. The others, Mr. Speaker, are not around. So, Mr. Speaker, I want to say thank you because they stand with us, Mr. Speaker, in passing this budget. Thank you so much.
Honorable Isaac Musbei.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for this opportunity to, as we wind up the debate on the budget. I also want to take a moment to congratulate the ABLE committee for the work they did. And I understand the difficult circumstances. Personally, on behalf of the people of Kaptumo Kaboi, I have not gotten everything that I wanted. For instance, I did not get a single water project. But nonetheless, I believe the coming of the Ward Development Fund, that is the messiah of some of us who may not have gotten what they wanted in this budget. Speaking maybe in reference to a committee like the one for education, we, in the NASEF law that we created as a house, We say that we were going to do at least 2%. At least 2% of the shareable whatever. Yeah, but when I do my mathematics, I realize that we should have been allocated 146 million. But now we have 120. I believe there will be a cure along the way since that
Point
budget
of order,
is
Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Kogo.
Point of order.
Honorable Mosbey, remain seated, please.
Point of order number 90 on accuracy of facts. Honorable Speaker, is it in order for Honorable Mosbey from Kaptumo Gaboy to mislead this House that there's no even single budgeted for water, and yet we have 3 million per ward? Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Mosbey, back to you. Are you misleading the House on the same?
I'm not. I cannot see it in the document. So okay, I did not see it in the document. If you can show me where it is, then I'll be obliged.
And honorable members, let me get the House honorable members. Currently, the issues before us, honorable members, is the Nandi County Appropriation Bill, number 1 of 2023. I know the issues as regard budget, that is a thing of the past. The same has already been passed by this House.
Okay, I stand guided, Mr. Speaker. And as I said, you see, the committee worked under very difficult circumstances. Circumstances like what I feel, but I've come up with at least something agreeable to the House, and I support. Thank you.
Honorable Isaiah Minor, thereafter Honorable Ezra Rotich, before you put the question.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I'd like to just make a few comments as we come to the tail end of this process, which is very important. I should say the following. And before I make my comments, I should first of all thank the honorable members for promising to support, for all of us to support each other in the implementation. And I would like to undertake that, first of all, members, I have been longing to see some very clear resolutions. And I know that from this, from what we have done today, there are certain resolutions that we have made that are very clear on what we expect the county executive to do. And therefore, I shall be very ready to pursue and ensure that all these things are done in the right time. May I also say that I think everything, every budget falls or rises on the implementation bit. So it's always rosy on this end. Everything really looks very nice because all of us agree that even when you are making a promise, surely you talk very well. I would like to implore upon all of us to do our level best. And as we do that, I'd like to suggest that this oversighting and the follow-up is more adequately done when we do it using the organs of this House. I would like to hesitate when I hear someone, an honorable member, suggesting that a single or each honorable member should be moving around those offices on his own accord. I'd like us to use the organs of this House, because it is only through those organs that we can be able to deal with the power that is in the executive. It is not possible for one member acting alone to go around the offices there and follow through and keep asking whether there was an LSO that has been cancelled, or there is some procurement which has not been done. I promise that as part of the organ of this House, in terms of implementation, we will endeavor to do that with my members. And I call upon all the sectoral committees as well to follow suit so that we can tackle these issues as a team, not as a single member. Let us all move as a team. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Ezra Rotich.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. I stand to, Mr. Speaker, to support this bill, Mr. Speaker. And I must appreciate the team of Budget and Appropriation Committee led by the chairman for this wonderful job done. But, Mr. Speaker, it's important to note that we were forced to do quite a number of amendments, Mr. Speaker, which calls upon now the members of that committee, led by the chair, that going forward, Mr. Speaker, it's important for them to finalize those small issues going forward, so that those amendments will not arise again going forward. And I must appreciate the fact that we are going through this appropriation bill, number one, and chair of budget through the speaker, is that we going forward, the computer errors, Mr. Speaker, in terms of grammatical errors and mathematical figure errors, Mr. Speaker, should not arise going forward. Because, Mr. Speaker, despite the fact that we are not supposed to go back to the said budget again, Mr. Speaker, you know, in development fund, Mr. Speaker, we were talking of 2.9 as the development figure, but in the appropriation part, Mr. Speaker, we are talking of 3.2. So going forward, Mr. Speaker, such errors should not arise. Otherwise, Mr. Speaker, I stand to support. Thank you so much.
Well, Honorable Birech.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Personally, I rise to comment on one or two. At first, let me appreciate the team of budget led by Honorable Chair. I think the appropriation bill has led us to an end of this process by allowing the executive to spend 9.3 billion. And I think it is very important that some items probably which had errors should be captured on this, should be rectified before fully implemented. And in conclusion, let me thank very much the budget team led by my colleague in the field, Honorable Edwin. And I think if there is a person who is very passionate, who has passion on his work, is Honorable Edwin, because he never slept. He worked around the clock to make sure this report has been a successful. And for sure, Honorable Edwin, I must congratulate you. And also the members of those committees, because I realize the members of those committees are most experienced. Yeah, led by the senior here, Honorable Sang. Is one of the senior most member in this county assembly. And this time round is in the budget. And he seems to be controlling very much how things are going. And I need to congratulate you, Honorable Sang. Again, I congratulate Leader of Majority, who was the chair of the previous, he was chair budget previously. And today is one of the members. So I think under the leadership of Honorable Edwin and the members who are experienced in that field, not forgetting Honorable Whip, whom I believe he normally gives us small technical advices in that committee. I must say congratulations, Honorable Whip. I believe, yes, Kirongo is here and he is a strong supporter of the government. I must say, Honorable Kirongo, congratulations. Congratulations. I believe in the next financial year, as has been said by Honorable Mospi, that's where the dream lies. And I think, Honorable Chair Budget, you will deliver. Again, I must thank Waziri Finance, that's who was the member of this Honorable House. seriously, if you look at the budget, there is a great, tremendous improvement. And this improvement has come in because he understands the shoes and the spirit of consultation in him has made this budget to be most successful. Otherwise, thank you very much and may God bless you.
Thank you, Honorable Birech. I know you failed to note that Honorable John Keter was also the chairperson budget in the first assembly. Honorable members, now that we are about to make a decision, I have confirmed the quorum for the purposes of making this decision. And I will proceed to put the question, which is that the Nandi County Appropriation Bill, number 1 of 2023, be now read a third time. Will as many as of similar opinion say ayes?
Aye.
And will as many as of contrary opinion say nay? Ayes have it. Honorable members, before the next prayer on the order of business is called, I have a little communication to make to the House. Honorable members, first and foremost, aware that this is the last sitting of the first financial year of the Third Assembly. I wish to thank the honorable members of this House for your cooperation in enabling this Assembly discharge its mandates. In spite of the financial challenges facing our country that resulted in persistent salary delays, you continue discharging your duties and ensuring that there is no gap in the public service delivery. Further, honorable members, I also wish to inform this honorable House of the launch of the Talanta Hela program, which will be graced by His Excellency the Governor Stephen Sang tomorrow, Friday, 30th day of June 2023 at Kapsabet Showground. The Honorable Governor is calling upon the members to strive to attend to that particular event. Lastly, honorable members, we shall be having the County Assembly Sports Association, commonly known as CASA, annual sports and cultural festivals in Nakuru, as from 19th to 27th day of August this year. It is on that particular strength that I ask the honorable members to start preparations early enough in preparation of the said event. Next order, Honorable Clerk.
Order number 16, motion.
Honorable Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to move a motion on adjournment of the County Assembly. Honorable Speaker, aware that pursuant to standing on the 28.3, which provides that the County Assembly shall continue to be in session and may adjourn for such a number of days as it may determine in its calendar, noting that members of this House are scheduled to attend report writing retreat on the monitoring and evaluation of the county projects and programs commencing on 29 June 2023, that is tomorrow. Aware that the County Assembly is expected to go to recess as from 14 to 24 July 2023 in accordance with the approved County Assembly calendar. Further aware that the County Assembly is set to conduct public persuasion on the Kapsabet Municipality Integrated Development Plan and the Kaimosi Research and Agricultural Training Center Bill 2023 immediately after the said short recess. Noting that Standing Order 29.4 gives discretion to the House to alter its adjournment date by resolution. This House resolves that the House adjourns its sitting from today, Thursday, 29 June 2023, to enable members to attend the said programs and resume its sittings on 1st August 2023. Honorable Speaker, because this motion is self-explanatory, Honorable Speaker, and I know Honorable Matata is a happy person because we are moving quickly to ensure that we have a bill for the county integrated Kapsabet municipality, and on the issue of Kaimosi, which is a game changer the way Honorable, our chairman, Honorable Kipkoskei, said. Honorable Speaker, and this also for the report writing, I call upon members to adopt this motion so that we can proceed for that short recess, so that it can enable us to complete all the pending works, so that when we come on fast, that is when we will table all the reports, all the motions pending, so that this assembly can move forward. Otherwise, Honorable Speaker, I want to thank your office for the support. As an assembly, we have really enjoyed the support from your office and the office of the clerk to ensure that all the issues are addressed as quickly as possible. I call upon the leader of minority to second.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. So that I give my submission, I rise to second this motion that we retreat for monitoring and evaluation, and we get time, Mr. Speaker, so that we're ending this financial year, and Mr. Speaker, so that the pending projects that are there, it's good for us that we retreat to our wards, we monitor them, we ensure that it's actually complete. So this time before recess, Mr. Speaker, I suggest, and I really second that we go for this retreat, and subsequently, Mr. Speaker, I support, or I second the motion. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable members, the said motion having been moved and seconded, I now propose that the House adjourns its sitting from today, Thursday, 29th June 2023, to enable members attend the said programs and to resume its sittings on 1st August 2023. Honorable member from Kapsabet, Honorable
Thank you,
Matata.
Honorable Speaker. First and foremost, I want to thank all the honorable members, led by our honorable Speaker and the clerk, for the for the cooperation that we have had together in various activities. And considering, Mr. Speaker, sir, having come out of a very rigorous exercise of the budget making process, I think this adjournment, Mr. Speaker, is timely. It will also give members an ample time to go and do their personal development and to also have some time with their electorate, Mr. Speaker, sir. So, Mr. Speaker, I support the adjournment motion 100%. Thank you.
Honorable Isaac.
I also rise, Mr. Speaker, to support this adjournment motion, just like the majority leader and Honorable Matata have put it. It is indeed timely. Speaking from the perspective of CAF, being with Honorable Sarah Rubeti, you know, we all understand the fight that is on, especially when it comes to our welfare. And I want to also thank the House leadership, because the last time they met, including you, Mr. Speaker, you talked about our welfare. And I want to thank members for indeed, besides the suffering that they are going through in terms of their welfare, we decided that we put Nandi first when everyone else was crying that we had to down our tools. This is a symbol of sacrifice. And as we have sacrificed, like it has been said, this is the time really to go and negotiate with various organs like the SRC. We engage also with our colleague assemblies so that when we come back, we are refreshed and we have a direction and we know. And I want to assure the members that something good is coming up, and hopefully as we come back, we will come back with good news. Thank you for this motion, Honorable Majority Leader. Thank you.
Honorable Sang.
Honorable Speaker, I hope we have the
I've seen members have discussed a lot, and if we still need to discuss, because of time, we are supposed to end this session by 6:30. So, Honorable Speaker, if you may allow me to move extension of time, or you put a question so that we say you cannot go against our standing orders, Honorable Speaker, so that we can move because of. Honorable Speakers, Honorable Keter and Honorable, they are becoming indisciplined, Honorable Speaker, because they are telling you to put the question. I'm going to be the Honorable Speaker. So I'm asking Honorable Speaker, because of time, we either extend or you put the question so that we can move to the other businesses. Otherwise, thank you, Honorable Speaker. That is an understanding order. I've seen you are writing, Honorable Speaker.
Yes. Honorable Sang, I've read the standing order. I've read standing order number 31. That is as regard the hours of meeting. And as we read that particular standing order, lest we forget that this is an allotted day. And if the day is allotted, the House will rise at 7 p.m. and not 6:30. Honorable Balala.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I stand actually to support Mr. Speaker. But, Mr. Speaker, it is common knowledge and common justice, Mr. Speaker. And in African setup, we need to respect the age, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, having in mind that, Mr. Speaker, I respect Honorable Chelule from the larger Songo Soba, Mr. Speaker, and of course our clerk here, Mr. Speaker. I respect them because of their age, Mr. Speaker, and we've had a very long time discussing the whole thing, Mr. Speaker. Could you please, Mr. Speaker, put the question, Mr. Speaker?
Honorable Balala, the chair seems not to agree with you on the issue about the age. So will the age inform or rather violate the standing orders? Honorable Chelule?
Yes. I rise, Mr. Speaker, on a point of order because I do not understand in what context Honorable Balala respects me and the Honorable Clerk. That's all I can say.
Honorable Balala?
Mr. Speaker, it was on a light note, and they were senior most in terms of age, Mr. Speaker. That is all, Mr. Speaker. Otherwise, I respect them, Mr. Speaker, and I know they must be very tired, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you, honorable members. Our honorable members, I'll proceed to put the question, which is that the House adjourns its sittings from today, Thursday, 29th June 2023, to enable members attend to programs such as report writing, retreat on monitoring and evaluation of the county projects and programs, together with public participation on the Kapsabet Municipality Integrated Development Plan and the Kaimosi Research and Agricultural Training Center Bill 2023, and to resume its sittings on 1st August 2023. Will as many as of similar opinion say ayes? Ayes. And will as many as of contrary opinion say nay? Ayes have it. Next order.
Order number 17, adjournment.
Honorable members, there being no any other prayer on the order of business today, the House stands adjourned until 1st August 2023.